What is up, folks? Ham Radio Happy Hour. Good evening. We're doing something different tonight. Fudging with this stuff. Ooh, that's hot. That is hot. Okay, let me back off a little bit. Awesome. I show it's 8 o'clock, guys. Appreciate everyone being here so early. Really appreciate everyone being here so early. Hey, okay, let's go right there. There we go. Hey, good evening. Thank you for joining tonight. I'm going to back off the mic a bit because I think it's a little hot. Yeah, there we go. Ham Radio Happy Hour. We're going to get going here in a minute. And appreciate everyone being in the chat tonight. I see Aaron in there, N7BIO, and Christiana, N6KV, and Andy Cowley, all the nice people in green text who are my YouTube channel members. Special welcome to you guys. Appreciate y'all taking a time out on a Friday night to join us. So I'm going to do a couple of quick announcements. We're going to jump right into it. So everyone's aware of the GoFundMe, or I think most people are aware of the GoFundMe I set up for the Lee family. We're doing really well with that. It's at $14,261 at refresh. Yeah. So we're good with that. I'll share the link to that in the chat here in a little bit. But if you have opportunity or if you have ability, please share or please donate to that. James is doing a little bit better, and you can follow those updates on his Facebook page if you're his friend. So, but he's starting to make a little bit of recovery, so we're still praying for him over here. And the 100,000K giveaway of the Flex Radio and various other things is going to happen on Sunday, 2 days from now. So I'm really, really, really looking forward to that. That should be a really fun time and a great stream. So I certainly hope that most of you can join us on Sunday night, the normally scheduled. In fact, the link's already up there, so you guys can go check that link out and make plans, hit the notification bell, and make plans to join us there on Sunday night. Should be a fun time. So I'm looking forward to that. Somebody's going to win a Flex Radio. I'm giving away like 6 other radios, smaller radios, a couple of Radiodity radios, a couple of B-Tech radios, that kind of stuff. Giving away 100 tickets, 100 entry tickets from Orlando Hamcation to be able to put in the prize bucket and possibly win something on one of their door prizes. So that should be a fun time there also. And for those of you who might not have seen it yet, we've got a new calendar for the YouTubers bunch, which is on shop.hamradio2.com. And I'm going to talk about that here in a minute because I got one of those in my hand. So that's going to be cool to see. All right, so let's go ahead and wreak havoc here. Zoom screen, unmute all the things. And y'all let us know how the audio is in the chat, please. What's up, everybody? How are you guys doing?
I'm good.
Hey, what's going on,
everybody?
Hello, hi, everybody. Oh, it's a fun night, man. It's a fun night, man. Oh, gosh. So, 200 people watching. Man, I really appreciate you guys coming out tonight. So that's going to be a fun night. So what's going on in everybody's ham radio world? I haven't, the last couple times I haven't done it where I've just gone through individually, but I'm going to do it tonight. So, Scott, you're at the top of my list, man. What's up?
Well, I'm on a temporary hiatus. I got a couple of videos coming out next week, but I'm trying to do some overdue and much needed maintenance on my mobile ham shack, aka my truck. So I'll be wrenching on that for the next week or so, trying to catch up on all the stuff that hadn't been done the past 20 years on it. So,
oh gosh, okay,
yeah,
I need to do some of that myself, actually. So, good. Well, thanks for being here tonight. Scott's going to come up for Winter Field Day next weekend, so that's going to be a fun time. So we're going to have about 12 people at Winter Field Day. 12? Well, no, like 15 actually. 15 people at Winter Field Day. We had a meeting last night and kind of hashed everything out. So Winter Field Day is going to be a really fun time. And I got another thing planned like I did last time. And that's all I'm going to say. So you guys have to watch and see. What's up, Joe Brett? How are you tonight?
What's up? I'm Joe Brett. Same as I always was. Just doing the same thing I always did. Not much, but I spent the day today putting together this little antenna. Some of the other YouTubers have done it already. the Atom antenna. It's really an evil man, to make that thing so small. But it was fun. So
There's a reason I haven't built it yet.
The
That's-
most
that's
fun
the-
you have being frustrated.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's the
yes.
excuse I'm to use anyway.
That's not that bad.
Nah. But okay, good. Well, hey man, thanks for being here tonight. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And you're not going to make it to Orlando, I heard.
No,
Okay. Well, we'll have to
unfortunately.
catch you. Going to make it to Dayton?
I'm going to make it to Huntsville when you come back.
Well, we'll be in Huntsville too, but that's not till August, man. So
Well, I'm booked for that. And I
okay.
got to spread my wealth out,
All right. All right. We'll see how it is. Thanks, man. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Aaron, what's going on, man? How are you?
Doing pretty good. Not too bad at all. Just doing some tinkering, little kit builds. I'm trying to get a friend of mine when he's not so tied up. We've got a project for a satellite tracking system. We want to build our own servo, pan and tilt and everything. So I've been trying to get my 3D printer that I got for Christmas up and running good where I feel confident with it. So I'm going to print the whole thing and design it myself for the whole pan and tilt head. So a little bit of a challenge. So I'm looking forward to that. Not much else other than that.
Good.
So.
Good. Well, that's great. I've got a 3D printer I need to build myself. So, which one do you have?
Wife got me the Ender 3 Pro. So
Yeah,
it's a good
that's a
entry
good one.
one. Been still a lot of learning curve. I mean, to get where you get some good prints and then all of a sudden it fails. So
Yeah.
it's a challenge to constantly tinker.
Yeah. That's what I hear. All right. Gustavo in the chat. When is the Flex giveaway? Sunday night, 48 hours from now. So in fact, I didn't say this up front. I'm going to take down the sign up at the end of the stream tonight. So it is, it's been going for like 5 or 6 weeks. I've got over 3,500 people signed up for it. So I'm taking it down tonight so that it can kind of rest for a couple days and I can go through and sort everybody. And then that way we don't have any last minute entries. So if you want to sign up, now is the time. And I'll share the link in the chat here in just a second. But it's all good. So cool. Thanks for being here, Aaron.
Thank you.
Mike, you're next, and you're in the dark.
Yeah, this is new Studio 69 here. We're in the dark here.
I'm not going to ask. But good. So where are you?
I'm in Denver. I'm in the Mile High city, and I'm playing with the 705. I'm trying to program some repeaters, and I couldn't remember for the life of me how to put a tone in there, but I just remembered.
Oh,
so
why are you in Denver?
Because I wanted to activate a park.
It's a good reason as any.
I got some work out here, so I'm in for a couple days, make a couple quick bucks, and
it's great.
Get back to where it's warm. It's actually not bad here. It's in like
really.
It's below freezing now, but it's not like Michigan cold. So
yeah.
I've been negative 15 for like 4 days now.
Ooh,
without wind chill.
It was 23 degrees in North Texas this morning. And in fact, we were talking before you joined, Mike. You know, the Texas winter storm was last year, and it's been in the 20s several times this year. It didn't get this cold for you moved here last year. I'm just saying. So I don't know what you did.
There's a battle that needs to happen between the north and the south again.
I guess
for the weather, though.
I guess, yeah.
I'll be out tomorrow doing a POTA. I've got a presentation that I'm giving to the Long Island CW Club tomorrow at 11 Eastern a.m. And
cool.
Then I'll be on. I forget some state park, kind of just south of the city. It looks like I think is where I'm going. So
good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I did a POTA up in Colorado when I was up there. I can't remember when that was, but I did a dog rescue transport a year and a half or so ago. And on my way back, I activated a park in Colorado, a park in New Mexico, a couple parks in Colorado, maybe park in New Mexico and a park in the northern part of Texas that I'll never get to again. So, or it'll be a long time anyway. But yeah, good deal. It's cool to get new parks in new states out there. So
yeah,
good luck to you.
I've never been here. It's great. Denver's a really cool town, actually.
Yeah, it is.
So,
yeah, some good craft beer up there as well.
Yeah, I was walking by. I was looking for one of the stores.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah.
And And
Yeah.
right next to that store is an Oscar Blues. So
Yeah.
I went to the first store that you have to go to when you come to Colorado.
Right.
Then I walked to the hotel, checked in, and then went back to Oscar Blues and had a couple beers. They had a really good sour. It's called a guava something, really, really good. So I had a couple of those and some food, and then I walked back to the hotel. And that's it. Ham Radio Hobo's bored. Sorry, buddy. Maybe you can find another channel to watch. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all righty then. That's how it is. So, well, thanks for being here, Mike.
My pleasure.
It's good. Mike's going to be up at Winterfield Day next weekend. Also, I assume you'll be back in time.
Yeah. I'm coming back
okay.
Tuesday.
Okay. Interesting. I'll have to check that. Okay. I'm getting some errors here, but it's not a big deal. So somebody said the Twitch screen was black. I don't know. It looks okay from... I'm not looking at the Twitch screen, but I'm looking at Restream, and Restream says it's okay. But for some reason, Twitter's not connecting, so oh well. Watch on YouTube. That's where we are anyway, so good deal. Josh, what's going on? How are you?
I'm good. I've got the little one here. Edison's with me for a little while because Ben's doing some kung fu practice, so he's got to hide out in the shack with me. I'm doing well. Going to be doing a bit of a talk on some of my favorite little CW only radios tomorrow on the live stream, which I love collecting these things. They come home with you so easy from all the ham fests, and you end up collecting them really quickly.
Yeah. I'm working on a video about my favorite QRP rigs, but it's not the same angle that you're taking with it. So I saw your post on that yesterday, and I'm like, gosh, I hope he doesn't think I'm copying him, because I've actually been working on this for like a week or so. But yeah, good deal. That ought to be interesting. That KX1, I tell you what, that's a neat freaking radio right there.
Yeah.
It's quirky too. It's really quirky. I mean, they don't make them like that anymore. You can't buy KX1s anymore. So, put that on your list when you're walking around Orlando, that you're going to find KX1s or mountain toppers or all that fun stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, mountain toppers are always fun too. When L&R Precision was carrying that, I forget the guy's name who designs and creates those, but L&R Precision carried them and put their stamp on them for a while. And I had one of the LD11 models, which is not the mountain topper, but it's kind of like the big brother to it, and it would do single sideband. Yeah, that was a great radio. I wish I wouldn't have sold that.
Yeah, I still have my 5, and actually, the last time we were in Hamvention, that was the last time I ever saw 3-banders available for purchase. You could have bought it right there, and I'm kicking myself that I didn't just buy it, because it's the size of a pack of cards. I should have. And it was, I believe it was the one that had the BNC connector too, which is very,
that's what I have right
exactly
now.
what you want. Very frustrating.
I had, I was looking at actually, way back when I used to sell radios, I used to have those listed on my website, and they didn't sell very well for the audience that I was going for, but I got to play with one a little bit, and that little 3-band, that one that's the size of a pack of cards, is neat because it runs on a 9-volt battery too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and, most of the ones we talk about that I'm going to talk about will tomorrow run off 9 volts. Most of them do, but yeah, that's kind of its cool thing, is it's just super tiny. But
right.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me. We did get a comment on Arden that we should probably get to later about hardware, but let's move forward from this and then we'll come back.
Well, yeah, if I miss any comments, let me know. Frank's not in tonight, so, which is good and bad, I guess, but, yeah.
Oh, poor Frank.
Poor Frank, yeah. So, hey, Tom, what's going on, man? I haven't seen you on a happy hour in a while. How you been?
Good. It just always seems like something keeping me busy, but getting ready for Winterfield Day. I'm pretty excited. Winterfield Day is always one of my favorite events, and I think I'm going to be roughing it pretty good as far as the shelter goes, but going to try to get my hopefully I'll be able to use the crank up tower that I have and the Yagi that I'm working on. I just got to take it. I set it up, and then, the rules for field day says you have to tear it. You can't have anything set up before Friday. So I got to take it back down, move it across the yard, and then I'll move it back for winter field day. But I've got, a foot of snow in the backyard right now. So
are you doing another snow bunker like you did last time, or for that? That wasn't for winter field day, was it? That was for something else. But
no. Hey, if we get enough snow between now and winter field day, which I don't think we're supposed to get much more, I would. But we got quite a bit of snow over the weekend, but it was melting in a day. But it's 7 degrees here now, so nice and chilly.
No, thank you. No, yeah, 23 was too cold for me this morning. So no, thank you. Not doing that. So, well, thanks for being here, Tom. It's
Oh, thank you.
It's going
Thanks
to be
for having me.
yeah, it's going to be fun to see your setup for Winter Field Day. We're not going to build any snow castles in Texas. I can tell you that right now.
You'll be
So-
sand castles.
Well, not in the part of the state we're in, but yeah, maybe one of these days we'll go down to the beach and do Winter Field Day from down there. I would actually very much enjoy that. So
That would
so
be
we'll-
sweet.
Yeah, we might do that one of these times. So I've always wanted to do the Texas QSO party from down there, but I always seem to have something else come up during that weekend. But
Yeah. When you were
Yeah.
doing the Parks on the Air down there, you guys were so loud up here. I could hear you guys
Really?
like gangbusters on the DX Commander. But you had such a pile up, I couldn't get through QRP, But yeah, you guys were super loud.
I got you the last time we were in Galveston, Tom.
Yeah, you did. But
Didn't you
this
run
time,
QRP?
I always run QRP. But this last time, you just had such a pile up. There's just no way I was going
Yeah.
to get through.
It was big.
cool. Okay, I'm doing a different. So Noel hopped over to Twitch and says there's a live feed but no video. So I've switched from Streamlabs to OBS. This is the first time I've ever streamed with OBS in like 2 or 3 years. So I think I have some settings a little bit wrong. It's working fine on YouTube. That's where it counts the most. But I think there's a couple of things that are quirky about it. So I'm going to have to go adjust that later. But it is what it is. I appreciate the feedback, of course. But once again, go to YouTube. It's that's where it counts anyway. So, okay. So, Charlie, you're next. What's up, man? How are you?
Hey, good evening, everybody. Jason, nice to have you to invite us in, and
Yeah.
let's see what's going on with me. I got soda coming up in the morning. It's unlike you guys, it'll be in the 70s on the summit. So
On the summit, it's warmer than it is here.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yep. So I've been doing that, and I've been trying to get in a little POTA. I wanted to step up my game and follow along the footsteps of POTA Daddy. CQ. So I've been trying that, and then I'm going to put together that a little packet for Grand Canyon, like Adam did, if I can follow in his footsteps on that one. So that's kind of what I've been up to the last little bit.
Good. Well, good. That'll be a fun activation. So we're gonna go visit Charlie in July and go to the Grand Canyon, do a POTA out there. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So cool, man. Thanks for being here tonight, Charlie.
Yeah, thanks.
Steve, Gigapart Steve, what's up, buddy? How are you? Unmute. There you go.
There we go.
There you go.
Good evening, everybody. I'm actually just got finished getting ready for Winter Field Day for next weekend and finishing up the DX10 video for the store, so they have a employee video guide. But, I can't, I was busting on Jason earlier today, of course, because 3 weeks from now we're gonna be in the day one of Orlando, and I didn't think it was that close. So I gotta get my button gear, and I gotta start printing flyers and all the other secret goodies we're bringing along with us to the party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in Orlando. And so for those who don't know, Gigaparts is going to give us Gigaparts is going to give us a booth again the way they did in August at the Huntsville Ham Fest last August. So we're going to have some spots at the Gigaparts. Some of us are going to have some spots at the Gigaparts booth, and we'll be able to talk to audience and do that kind of stuff there. So that's going to be a fun time as well. Yeah, looking forward to you guys being out there with us, Steve.
And we will be bringing, as far as unless something changes in the next couple days, my new vehicle will be inside the building.
Nice.
So,
that'll be fun.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. So good. Well, thanks for being here tonight, man. Did you have anything Gigaparts related you want to talk about tonight?
No. I'm trying to think. I think everything's been covered. We really don't have anything new coming out except for solar panels.
Yeah, heard about that.
But that's still in the R&D phase. Not just, come visit us in Orlando and see what we bring to the party.
Absolutely. Cool, man. Thanks for being here tonight.
No problem.
Yeah. All right. Let me see. My order got all jumbled. Craig, you're next. What's up, man? How are you?
Trying to live. I'm hopefully at the end of COVID.
Oh, really? Did you get it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. So somebody told me the other day that the Omicron, that the new strain was just felt like a head cold. And
the only symptom I've had, and I didn't think I had it at first. I was coughing like a smoker, and that was the only symptom I had. I had no body aches, nothing. And then all of a sudden, about 3 days ago, couldn't smell anything. It's like, oh crap. So the beer tastes a little strange tonight too, but I'm going to suffer through that. It's worth it.
So I had over when I was in Galveston over New Year's, about January 2nd or 3rd, I got something that felt like a really bad head cold. I didn't have a fever. I had sinus drainage stopped up. I was really tired, sore throat. I couldn't smell because my head was so stopped up. And it took about 2 days, and I got over it, and I felt fine. I was like, the whole time I never got a fever or anything. Never lost my sense of taste. And then I was with I think it was Shane the other day who was telling me that. I was with Shane the other day. We were doing a 5-part POTA, and he's like, "Oh yeah." I was describing it to him. He's like, "Oh yeah, you had the new strain," and I'm like, "Really?" Because my wife had it about the same time as me, and she went and got tested, and it was negative. Steve, if you want to hang out for another 2 minutes, I'll let you talk. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. It's not. If I had it, it was not nearly as bad as what I've heard other people saying, and I don't know. Hopefully, if that's all COVID was, the new strain is not that bad, and I hope that anybody who gets it, I don't wish you get it, but if you do get it, I hope it's that mild for you. So,
and my wife's was negative, but mine was positive.
Okay.
So,
okay. Well, glad you're recovering, man.
Oh yeah, I'm probably not going to make it to Florida for all of this revelry, but I'm hoping to get to Daytona. Be my first time there for that one.
Dayton?
Or Dayton, I mean, not Daytona.
Yeah.
Wrong race.
Yeah, wrong race. Daytona would be fun too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. My wife said she was tested at Thanksgiving, not New Year's. That's what it was. Okay. Anyway, we kind of had the same thing at Thanksgiving and at New Year's. Although my case at New Year's was a little bit worse, but it was still gone in 2 days. So I don't know. I have no idea. I feel fine now. So I think it was just a head cold, but I don't know. So, well, thanks for being here, Craig. Steve, KO4AFL, I know you're out of town and with some company. So if you need to bounce, go ahead and introduce yourself. And thanks for being here.
Yep. Thanks for having me, Jason. Yeah. Everybody just said they're going to bed. We've been at Orlando, Universal all day and going back to so having fun. But yeah, Winter Field Day's coming up. I'll be back down here for Hamcation. And then I have a special event station going on February 18th, the N4HLH. It's the HL Hunley event where the Hunley sunk the Housatonic. So I'm going to have that station on the air, and that will also be a POTA from Fort Moultrie, South Carolina. So
nice. Okay.
We'll be out all day.
Nice. That's great. Okay. Cool. That sounds like fun. You have to let us know. I'll have to put that call sign into my ham alert.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And I'll throw it out to everybody in the chat. So.
Good. All right. Sounds good. Cool, man. Thanks for being here, and have a good night.
Yep. Have fun, guys.
Yep. See ya. What's up, Molson? How are you? How are things up there in Canada? You're muted, dude.
Look at that. I muted myself.
I didn't mute you. I'll mute you if you want me to, but I didn't mute you.
It's cold. I think it's like minus 34 Celsius, which is like, I don't know what that is in your conversions, but
that's 34 degrees below zero.
Yeah.
Because 0 degrees Celsius is 32 here.
Yeah, that's right.
But the conversion factor is probably like minus 20 or something. I don't know.
It actually gets really close the further into the negative you go. But
does it?
I'll Google it for you.
There you go. Google it.
Nothing new. I'm happy it's the weekend. Long week of work is fun to relax to. On the weekend. So that's pretty much it. Nothing new here.
Cool.
Well, can you hear me this time? Because the last time I listened to the recording, and holy cow, it sounded like I was muted.
I don't remember that, but I've slept since then. So yeah, you sound fine to me.
All right.
So
yeah, it's negative 26 Fahrenheit in the freedom units.
Yeah, no thank you. No thank you. Y'all keep that crap up there north of the border. I don't want it. So yeah. Well, good luck to you. Stay warm. Maybe you could build a snow hut and talk to Tom over there. But y'all,
I'm building a Quincy hut for field day, winter field day. I'm building a Quincy hut, which is like it's like an igloo, but you pile snow and then you carve out the inside. I'm thinking about doing it. It's a lot of work.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. We'll see.
All right, man. Thanks for being here.
No worries.
Rhea, you're next. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah. I'm doing okay. I'm up here in Connecticut, dealing with ARL business, and I met Steve Goodgame yesterday. I met him up with him. I had dinner with him.
Yeah, he mentioned that in the chat. So yeah, that's cool. I didn't realize you guys had never met. So
no, I met him, but I met up with him yesterday and had dinner.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no,
all right, cool.
I met him before. Yeah, otherwise, I'm almost at 10K subscribers.
Nice.
And hoping to get there soon. I'm less than 500 subscribers away, so I'm kind of pushing. Other than that, busy. Lots of stuff going on. I'm hoping to get some more videos up. I have a few products going on. But there's been keen interest in some of my practices for HF operating, so I'm going to continue with that trend.
Good.
It's been cold up here. It's been snowing. Yeah, you guys in Texas, you don't know about that stuff, except when the power goes out, right?
It actually snows in Texas about once every 2 or 3 years. It'll snow in North Texas, but it's usually in February.
Okay.
And it'll snow like 2 or 3 inches, and it'll last like a weekend, and then it'll be gone. So,
yeah.
And the reason that I live in a place where it does that is because that's how I want it. I don't want to have negative temperatures every time I walk out the door. So I am fine with that. That's no problem.
And I'm also getting ready for Orlando, and I will be there. So I hope to see you guys there.
I will be there. Yes, I will be there. Frank and I are flying in Wednesday. In fact, we'll be at the ARRL banquet Thursday morning through the luncheon, and we bought tickets to the luncheon, and we're gonna hear David speak. So looking real forward to that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be involved with various. I mean, that's why I'm going pretty much with various ARRL activities, and Thursday. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing on Thursday, but I'm gonna be there from the 9th, which is I think Wednesday. Is it?
I don't remember the dates. I know Thursday's the ARRL tech training tracks thing, and that's when we're coming in Wednesday, so we'll be there for that on Thursday, and then the show starts on Friday. So
I'll be there from the 9th to the 14th. So
cool.
So I guess I'll see you guys then.
Cool, awesome. Well, thanks for joining us tonight, Rhea.
Thank you.
Let's see. Ham Radio Adventure Guy. I was trying to. I saw your acronym there, and I was like, "What is that?" Oh yeah, Ham Radio Adventure. Sorry, man. What's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing good, man. How about you?
Oh, we're hanging in there.
Roger that.
All good. What's going on in your world?
Dude, I spent like the last 2 days doing POTA roves. Been over in Ohio both days, and got about 6 parks both days. So all new to me, of course.
Cool.
And I actually got this week. I got the Outstanding Operator Award from POTA, which really meant a lot to me. It's something you can't achieve. Somebody has to nominate you for it. So
really,
yeah,
I've seen that award, but I haven't read up. Yeah, I haven't read up about it. I didn't realize you had to be nominated. That's pretty cool, though, man. Congrats on that.
Thank you. Yeah, and also got the local ham fest here in West Virginia has reached out to me. They're wanting me to do a forum on Parks on the Air at the local ham fest. So I've got that. and then I'm taking off work the month of February and concentrating on my channel. I'm going to be in Florida all month for Hamcation and everything else.
Good. Yeah, that'll be fun. Well, good. I get to meet you for the first time and face to face, I guess, at Hamcation. So we'll be out there.
James, do you know, Alan Brockmeyer is asking, do you know how to contact the POTA folks? He screwed up in registration. I don't know the website hardly at all. I just submit my logs. Do you know anything about that?
Somebody screwed up in registration.
We just registered again. I don't have any idea how to contact them. I think I know some of them, but
it's like POTA.info or POTA/info. I'll look it up. Give me a second.
yeah, you'll look it up. So I'm sure Vance would know, Mike, and he's pretty available on. He's in the Slack. He's in the POTA Slack, and also the POTA guys monitor an All-Star node that they were talking about the last time he was on my lunchtime live stream. So,
there's no like contact us on the website that I can see. Although, no, I don't know.
I'm not sure. That's a good question. I'm not sure on that. So, well, cool. Thanks for being here, man. Kat, did you get your cameras working? You keep popping in and out.
Yeah, I got everything working. I was just trying to get everything fixed. I had to move. I had to move.
You had to move. Okay. All right. So what's going on? So are you back at Texas Roadhouse tonight?
Not at Texas Roadhouse tonight.
Okay.
I am at a roadhouse.
A roadhouse?
I think it's called Logan's Roadhouse.
Oh, Logan's Road. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Shane was correct. Shane was correct. He was.
All right.
He was.
Mm. Well, there you go. So what are you up to tonight then?
Eating dinner, and then I'm gonna meet up with some friends.
Cool. Okay. Well, I'm glad you were able to join us then.
Yes.
So, so buy a blue drink and show it to all of us and have fun. Yeah. See, there you go.
It looks delicious.
How did I know that? How did I know that?
I don't know how you knew that, but
Yeah.
I did buy some Sonic cherry limeade packets to put in water, and they're actually really good.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah, they are really good. I was kind of shocked.
Well, thank you for joining tonight. If you have to drop off early, that's fine. But stay as long as you want. So
Stay.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Okay. Mike, help at parksontheair.com.
We're on it.
There you go. James
Radio
Linden in the
2.0.
chat.
Your question's answered.
Yeah, that's right. James Linden in the chat, it says he's part of the POTA team. And if you ask me on a day that I'm not on a stream, then I would tell you what James's call sign is, but I don't have it off the top of my head right now. So
November 6th, November Radio Delta struck Victor Echo 3.
There you go.
Whoa.
Wow, look at that.
All of that.
Look at that. Awesome. So cool. So yeah, help at parksontheair.com. Thank you, Hayden, for that info. Shane, what's going on, man?
What's up, buddy?
I submitted my logs last night, and Steve uploaded them for me. So they he uploaded.
Bald. What happened?
You're the first one to say anything. I was expecting a lot of.
Did you have an
turmoil
accident with
and
like Nair?
angst over that? No, I decided to. My wife and I celebrated our 20th anniversary last Wednesday, 2 days ago. So I decided to take all this off. You notice I didn't use a razor; I just used the clippers. So it's also a little scruff here. But I think
baby faced.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna grow it back and put braids and beads in it like the dwarves had in Lord of the Rings. I think I'm gonna do that. Cause that was I thought about that right before I shaved. And I'm like,
you can't compete with Beer Snack. I'm sorry.
I'm not
he has that. He has that market's cornered right there.
Well, there you go.
You're going for Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
it's only because he looks like Gimli.
Congratulations on 20 years, man. That's awesome.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, appreciate it.
Absolutely, that's the
milestone. Yeah, for sure. It was fun. We went out to Capitol Grill and spent too much on dinner, but we'll do that every one or two times a year. Yeah. Yeah, we kind of splurge that night, but we don't do it very often, so it's all good.
I'm with you.
But good. Cool.
That was fun, man. Parks on the Air, 5 parks. We had a little bit of turmoil. One being a park that was closed that we didn't know was closed. So when you're cruising up, you're like, oh, this activation's going great. Wait a minute, there's a roadblock. Crap.
Yeah.
Then you abort mission and go to the second park, and you get to the second park and you're scrambling because you're trying to get everything set up, and the Buddy Stick Pro won't tune, and you're.
Yep. Yeah. The Pac-10 to NFED halfway. The Pac-10 to Mini was
Save the day.
Savior of the day. I'm sure Mike would like to hear that.
Yep.
Great antenna, as everybody else already knows. But
it's still fun though. We had a blast.
It was definitely fun. All of the activations were done on an IC 7300. Shane likes to run his at 50 watts for some reason that escapes me.
Did it affect your activations?
Nope, did not. Mm-mm.
See,
nobody had a problem hearing you.
No.
Everybody said you were 5'9".
Well, I couldn't hear you guys.
Don't well me, Daniel.
The problem is you're assuming you got everybody, but you didn't.
Well, we did. We got at least 10 at every park. That's all that matters.
We got the 10 people that mattered most at each
got the
park,
ones that were most important.
which was the first 10. We're not prejudiced. We don't care who you are. As long as you're one of the first 10, you're the most important.
And the W1AW. That was
yes.
Yeah, that
yes.
was
So
cool.
I'm sitting there activating. Which one? That was at Fort Richardson.
That was at Fort Richardson.
And I'm sitting there talking, and Shane had already activated. So I'm sitting there activating, and like my 8th or 9th contact, I hear Whiskey 1 Alpha Whiskey, and I'm like, Whiskey 1 Alpha. Whoa, Whiskey 1 Alpha Whiskey. And it was good game. It was a good game. He's like, yeah, I saw you guys in the chat. Thought I'd try it. And I was like, dude, that's really cool to get you in the logbook on a POTA. Of course, I had to give the mic to Shane back so he could log that too.
Right.
Which is cool. But yeah, that was that.
Park Ranger. Sorry.
Right. Yeah, Park Ranger came up to us and he's like, what are y'all doing? We told him, he's like, oh, really? Tell me about that. He was all excited about it.
Yeah.
That was really
He
fun.
may be a new ham. I hope he is.
I hope so.
I hope we spread the POTA joy.
Yeah, totally. So, yeah,
but it was 490 miles that day.
Yeah, but you had your rental car, so.
Right.
Yeah.
5 miles just
great. Yeah, great timing there. So good deal. Well, that was a fun trip. So we're gonna probably do that again soon. Shane's gonna do one when I'm in Galveston, but we'll do it again at some point in time.
February 23rd. Fingers crossed. The weather holds out. 14 parks one day.
That's a lot, dude.
So I'm actually looking at the POTA website because Mike's in Denver, he said, and there is so many, like there's Red Rocks Amphitheater. I'm surprised.
Beautiful area, by the way.
I'm surprised that's not a POTA. Like Mike, if you ever go, it's just out on the edge of town. Check it out. Red Rocks Amphitheater, some of the most iconic.
Edge of town.
No,
it's
right.
beautiful.
It's right outside Denver. It's like
an hour and a half south.
No. It's not.
Sent me out here. Didn't rent me a car though. So
not Red Rocks.
You're thinking Garden of the Gods down in the spring.
Garden of the Gods.
That's
yeah.
different.
Red Rocks is
Rock
right on the edge of the
yeah.
suburbs.
I've been to a concert there.
Yeah. And but there's actually a lot of.
Matthews is playing.
That's still one of my favorite stories. They called it Garden of the Gods because the Germans who kind of like immigrated there is like, this would be a beer garden of the gods. We should build a beer garden here.
I'm good with that. Let's do it.
Seems like shit.
I went to Denver like 3 years ago with my wife and kids for work, and we had a week and a half. It was amazing. There's so much to see there. We went mining up in the mountains. Like some guy brought us in this little mine. Of course, we got no gold. Garden of the Gods, all that stuff. Amazing, just amazing to go there. It's beautiful, gorgeous. Yeah.
Mike, while you're there, you need to go to Flight Co. Brewing.
Do what?
Flight Co. Brewing. It's an aviation-based brewery there in Denver. Highly recommend.
Nice.
Highly recommend.
You also got easy access to left-hand brewing. That's kind of like
it's inside of an airplane.
That's good. But their milk real good.
Left
hand. Do things other than drink when I'm here, though.
No, you don't.
It's winter time.
But a new town doesn't mean I need to become an alcoholic.
Go skiing.
I think that becoming ship set sail years ago, dude. Come on. So no, left hand is okay, but I can get left hand anywhere. Unless they have some brews there that they don't sell like outside of the immediate area.
I don't know. Oscar Blues is like 5 blocks up, and
Oscar Blues, we can get those all over Texas as well. In fact, they have a brewery in Austin, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
If you get a chance to go up to Longmont, Longmont is a short drive north of Denver. It's a great place. They have a bunch of breweries up there too.
Breweries on the air. Now there's an idea.
That we've had that idea before. It's a great idea. I'm going to make it happen one of these days. That's my goal. Breweries on the air.
So one of my best friends lives in Denver, and he used to live in Montreal. He's a guy from France, and he went to Denver and married this girl that was there, and I was invited to the wedding. So he says, "Don't worry about it. Just fly here, you and your wife. I'll pick you up at the airport and all that." And I'm an independent guy, so I said, "I'm going to rent a vehicle." So let's just say it started off crazy. So I get there, I said to the person, "I want the biggest vehicle you have." So they rented me this Denali massive truck. And he's like, "You didn't have to do that. We have plenty of room." So the first night that we're in Denver, and I have no clue what's happening, he says, "We're going to go for supper." Okay, let's get in the cars. Of course, there's not enough seats for everybody. So good thing I rented the car. The next day we go to Costco because it was up in the mountains, at like 3-hour drive in the mountains. They rented this beautiful log cabin. I didn't know until we showed up and there's a log cabin there. We went to Costco to buy all the food. We're walking towards the front of Costco. Said, "Hey, Jeff, do you have a Costco card?" He's like, "No, I'm going to get a membership when we walk in there." I'm like, "You didn't plan this out at all, right?" So my wife takes her card. We buy. I said, "You guys better have cash because I'm not putting this on my credit card," right? So they're all putting their money together. We get to the cabin, gorgeous. They're like, "There's your room." Perfect. Beautiful lot. It was on, that Timber King show where they make all those log cabins? It was on there. First night was amazing. The second night, all of a sudden, this couple from Montreal showed up, and me and my wife, we go to bed, and then 2 minutes later, there's a knock on the door, and they're like, "Oh, we're in this room too." So we're like, "What?" So there's a pull-out couch on the other end of the room that we're in, and so here you have two couples sleeping in the same room who don't know each other. It was the most awkward thing that I ever had to do. And then the morning of the wedding, I'm like, "All right, buddy, good luck. I'm proud of you. Amazing." So he goes, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going to go sit with my wife." He goes, "No, you're in the wedding party." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, you're the best man." I'm like, it would have been nice to know this beforehand. So it was the most backwards wedding I've ever been to. And it was great though, because it was an experience I remember and sharing with you guys. But Denver was fun.
Who needs to plan things out?
Sounds
Just
like
a wedding.
adventure, right?
Yeah.
I just mentioned how cold Joe Brett looks.
It's cold in Mississippi, man.
It's cold in Texas, brother.
It's cold everywhere right now, buddy.
It's cold in Alabama. Come on.
What's the temperature in Alabama?
I'm fine.
What's the temperature in Alabama?
Yeah, what's
Hold
the
on.
temperature now? Yeah,
Hold on,
I want to
give me
know.
a second.
Because
Okay, give me a
I'm not so sure it's actually cold there, but I want to know.
28.
37 in Texas.
65
Hold
here.
on.
Yeah, Craig already told us
Is
it
it
was,
really
it was
65,
warm in
Josh?
California.
Now we're at 60. You got us beat.
Yeah, 65 in Southern Orange County.
Yeah.
Y'all
That's what Craig
Love
was
that.
saying.
27.
27. Okay, it's a little bit colder in here then.
Yes, it's colder.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I can't decide if it'd be worth it to move to California or not, but probably not.
Nope.
No, it's not. It's not.
No, man.
No.
Put up with the cold for 2 days.
That was
Too
sarcasm.
expensive here.
Run for the hills.
Yeah.
Too expensive.
Dude, I saw Josh, I don't know if this is true. I kind of think it was something like The Onion or something, but I saw a thing the other on Instagram yesterday that said U-Haul literally ran out of trucks from people leaving California.
No, I think that they definitely have in some locations. but
Really?
Yeah, there is
Okay.
people, and of course, the whole system U-Haul, right? You don't drive the truck back. They just wait for someone to end up moving
Right.
it around, and that whole thing. Well,
Right,
if nobody's
right.
coming in, then
Right, yeah,
they're not getting
yeah.
any trucks back.
That's right. Yeah.
Turns into an
The
expensive
ships are stuck in
process.
the port, and there's
Yeah.
no
Like 20
U-Hauls in California.
Hey,
$29 to move from Albuquerque to California, but $700 to go from here to Dallas.
Yep.
Oh God.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Jason, I need to say 73. I got to hop out. I have to work at 4:00 in the morning. So.
Ouch. Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah.
buddy.
Damn.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks for being here.
Wonderful evening, and I appreciate all your channels. Fantastic
Shane.
stuff. Have a good night.
It feels
Yeah.
like the only people that
Thanks,
have like
Shane.
a justified reason to come to California are people who are like relocating for work, and particularly like aerospace, because you got to be like you got to make a decent amount of money to stay here. To be honest, you really do. So that seems like the work anyway. Is a lot of aerospace.
That's
stuff.
why you do YouTube, right, Josh?
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, I'm supplementing my property taxes.
I will note,
doing this.
I do work in aerospace for anyone who didn't know that.
We literally down here in South Orange County, which is what, Josh? I'm like 24 miles from you, I think.
Yeah.
Lake Forest. And there are literally condominiums going for over $1 million a piece. Sharing a wall for $1 million.
$1 million. Yep.
Crap. You know, I think my house here in Texas is probably a little bit bigger than Josh's house, but his house is probably worth 3 times what mine is. So
it's over $1 million.
Mine's probably worth more than you.
Mine's not worth $1 million. Mine's not even worth a half. Well, just under $500,000 probably. I don't know. There's some debate on that, but yeah. I've got it's crazy. But so I was. Oh, you know what? Let me. Okay. So let's see. Scott, Joe, Brett, Aaron, Charlie, Rhea, and a couple other people who are not here tonight. Frank. Hey, I didn't mean to open up to Frank. That's my bad. So we got
Full
this
screen on that bad boy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know. Can I do that to myself? I guess I can. Pin video. How's that?
You're on OBS, right?
Yeah. You should see it now.
Yeah.
Well, YouTube.
No, you got to
should
make
see
a scene for it, right? You got a scene for full
It
screen?
is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It is. It's on YouTube. You may not be able to see it, Josh. But it's on
I'm
YouTube.
watching on the YouTube side too, but you got to delay.
So yeah. So there's Frank. There's Joe Brett. That turned out really well. That's a great looking shot right there.
That is nice.
So there's Aaron. He's pointing at you. You can look at him for the whole month of April, and he's pointing right at you. So, and there's look at that. That's the worst month of the year right there. This one turned out well. That's Charlie. That's that's the tech prepper right there.
Yep.
And that's
Chris.
that's Javi and Chris up there.
Yep.
So let's see. There's Izzo, and there's Scott, and there's Rhea. That's a great shot right there. And there's Shane and Dude, and there's Doug, which I was surprised he sent me something, but he did. That's a good shot there too. And then there's Christian. So we've got 12 of us. Well, we got 11 of us because I was late getting this all put together and whatnot. So for the month of January, I just kind of put blah blah up. But these are available on my website, shop.hamradio2.com. And I kind of had the idea late this last year. So I got it put together late. I didn't get it put together before the year started. So next year, so if people like this, next year we'll do another one, and we'll do a little bit different style. But these turned out really well. I thought they looked good. On the actual dates itself, it's got all your stuff like Orlando Hamcation, Hamvention, Huntsville, some smaller Hamfest in Texas. A couple of people sent me some Hamfest stuff. Charlie sent me a bunch of soda stuff. I've got a couple like NAQSO party is in there, and a couple of the bigger contest dates are in there. I think the Hamsci event I put in there, stuff like that. So important ham radio dates for your ham radio calendar. So I thought that was kind of a fun thing to do. So I was pleased with how well that turned out. So
next
cool.
year's the hams only calendar, right?
Hams only, huh? Sure. Yeah. Hams only. Yeah. Josh says people are asking for channels. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Somebody's been repeating the same question of what's everybody's channels here. So maybe we drop them in the internal Zoom chat, and then you can drop it as a comment or something and pin it or put it in the description.
Sure.
Whatever you do.
Yeah. That's fine.
I was just going to push it on to everybody to have everybody provide their link. Then you just copy them.
Sure. That's fine. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we'll share. I'll get everybody's link who's in the chat tonight or who's in the Zoom tonight, and I'll put it in the description for the after party, the team replay. So, Yes, just send me over one. Oh yeah, Andy, I can send you one. That's cool. I got to send you a package anyway. So cool. All right. So my wife and I were at dinner the other night, and we had a topic of discussion come up. Now, I told her I was going to say this, and she's like, "I didn't say that." I'm like, "I think you did." But so we're always talking about food on here, right? So
Yes.
and Adam was sharing those. What did he call those? SoCal burritos, California burrito.
We call
the California burrito.
So it's a California burrito now, but it kind of did originate in San Diego, where they add the French fries to it. It's kind of a special San Diego thing. At least
I've actually, I've never heard of adding French fries to a burrito, but he showed me a picture of it and everything else, and I was like, that looks really, it looks pretty legit. And you know, it's no different than adding, like, say, potatoes to a burrito, which people do.
I mean,
so
you go to sleep right after you eat it, you know, unless
you do
a bunch of hard work. But yeah, they're filling. It takes you out.
It looks good. It does. It looks good. But yeah, so okay. So the point of contention, not really contention, the point of discussion the other night was, is catfish seafood?
No.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yes,
doesn't come
it
from
is
the ocean.
considered seafood. It's southern
Ew.
seafood, but it's seafood.
Ew.
There's no such thing as southern seafood.
So what do you
I've
call
never
it? You
seen
just
no
call it
saltwater
fish?
catfish.
You just call it fish.
I've caught a lot of saltwater catfish in my day when I lived
Well, there's
in
such a
Florida.
thing as saltwater
You don't eat
catfish.
saltwater catfish. You eat
Yeah.
freshwater catfish.
Right.
It's one of my favorite
I don't
foods
eat
on
fish.
the face of the earth.
And what about crappie and sand bass and carp, even carp?
So what do you call it then? You just call it fish?
Carp is disgusting.
If it's freshwater, it's just fish.
It's fish.
Yeah. Okay.
Call it mud
It's
cat.
fish.
I'll go. I'm
That's
down
what
with
I
that.
was
I'm
gonna say
fine.
there.
Catfish is some of the best eaten anywhere.
Negative.
I mean, love
Nasty.
catfish.
No.
I mean, I
Love
like
catfish.
it fried, but I'm not going to
Fried's
eat it every
good.
day.
Blackened's good. Yeah, catfish. I could eat catfish every day.
So
Catfish.
I'm surprised.
Ew.
I was surprised when I learned that people eat catfish because growing up, we were just told they're garbage, like they were just full of worms and don't eat them. We would eat pike, pickerel, or perch, whatever you
but
call
you got
walleye.
You got different. You probably have like what are they called?
Trout. That's another one. Trout.
They're
We eat
different.
trout,
There's
trout's good.
catfish. Like I've
Freshwater,
caught
yeah.
catfish in Lake Erie. Those are different kind of. They call them like steelhead or something. But it's
Yeah.
not steelhead.
That's
Well, there's such a
trout.
thing. There's such a thing as farm raised catfish also, and they
No,
just
that's
feed them.
not what I'm talking about.
They feed them healthy grains and
No.
food and whatnot, because catfish are bottom feeders.
Yeah.
They're like eating. You know, they eat all the trash on the bottom of the lake. Then you catch them and you eat them.
So why do they taste so good then?
I don't know.
They don't.
I don't know. Well, see, here's the same thing. Pork. You know, pigs eat all the trash in the yard, and pork is some good eating too. I mean, who likes bacon? You know, so
Think about it this way,
I mean,
though, like chocolate and candy and all that. That's like the best kind of food. Pizza, they're horrible for you and they taste
Yeah.
delicious. So
They're all
that's
bottom
all
foods.
a catfish
That's
is
true.
doing is eating all the food that's horrible for you, and then we get to eat it. It's delicious.
Oh, catfish is good. Catfish is fantastic. It's but I don't think it's seafood. She was saying that she thought it was seafood. Now, I said that to her earlier today. She's like, I didn't say that. It's like, okay, well,
It's just
that's
fish.
that's not how I remember it. But
Yeah.
but yeah, just because it's fish doesn't mean it's seafood. That's my point.
Right.
There's a lot of
I think the implication of sea implies
Right.
salt water.
Correct. That is correct.
I think
Yeah.
that's what we were. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
in
where
I'm in an accord.
That's right. So, okay. Well, that was a lot. I thought we'd have a long discussion. on
Yeah,
that.
I
That
think
was a
you
lot
were
easier
waiting
than
for
I
this to be a big. You were really
Hang
dropping the
on.
bomb on this.
We
This
could
is really-
extrapolate a minute.
we can extract.
Because let's think about this for a second.
Oh,
If it's seafood, there's only so many seas in the world. There's a lot more ocean. Why don't we call it ocean fish? So
well,
that's
I
something like the Caspian
okay, so
Well, and
Sea
even
or
technically,
the,
No, you're
body
getting-
of water could be called a sea.
you're getting into semantics now. Seafood is saltwater fish. Anything that comes out of saltwater, a sea or an ocean or whatever.
Right.
So is
Bullhead.
seafood. Okay.
bullhead. That's what they are.
Bullhead.
Steelhead.
Yeah.
Yeah. The northern,
Mm.
like when I was living on Lake Erie, I would catch those all the time. But I
So-
don't think you eat those.
So that's an
You can,
interesting
but they can
story.
be a
The s-
little,
the story of the
musty,
steelhead
like,
trout
very
starts its life in
swampy taste.
freshwater, really colorful, And it migrates once it gets big and becomes a predator. It migrates into the ocean where it loses all of its color and becomes that steel head color. And then they come back to spawn. So they actually live a life where they migrate from freshwater to saltwater and then back again.
See, my
Steelhead trout is like the
Yeah.
king of trout for fly fishing.
Yeah, see, I've never done any fly. I grew up bass fishing, but I never done any fly fishing. But my wife asked me, she's like, "Is there any fish out there that are both in salt and freshwater?" And I said, "Well, not that I know of, but I mean, I don't know. I don't have every fish memorized."
I'm sure
so-
there are. I'm sure there
Yeah.
are, but steelhead is the one that jumps out to me that actually
Yeah.
lives.
Mhm.
Salmon does too. Yeah, good point, Wayne.
Yeah, salmon.
Salmon
Yeah,
does
salmon.
definitely. But then there's also varying degrees of saltness of the water, right? As
True.
they go back and forth. So
True.
some fish are a little bit more
Yeah.
tolerant than others.
True. Yep. True. Okay. Well, I love catfish, and that's how it is. So
Pete Howie in the chat pulled up the Encyclopedia Britannica on us.
Uh-oh.
Seafood, edible aquatic animals, excluding mammals, but including both freshwater and ocean creatures. Most non-toxic aquatic species are exploited for food by humans. So there you go. Seafood includes freshwater fish.
I would disagree.
Yeah, you got to call it Mr. Britannica then.
I will. I'll
Have
call
a
him.
live stream with him. Have a happy hour with
Yeah,
Britannica.
I might do that.
With that kid.
Who wrote that dictionary? That's the wrong one.
That's the wrong one. Yeah, yeah. Look up and see if you, in the encyclopedia, see if there's a definition for hot water heater, because that doesn't exist. So if they have a definition for hot water heater, then that's a wrong. It's a wrong.
We just
type
call it
of-
a water heater.
Take
Exactly.
water, you see, and then we take hot water and we heat it.
We have to preheat the water.
Who-
It
who-
just keeps it hot. It
Who-
won't.
who
take
heats
it
hot water?
from
Who heats
ambient
hot
to
water?
hot?
It's kind of the same thing as my wife. She's gonna unthaw something. No, you're gonna thaw it.
Unthaw it. You're gonna freeze it. Unthaw. I haven't heard that one. Oh my gosh. All right, I just shared all the links in the chat. Unthaw something. I haven't heard that one.
Are you guys all avid like fishermen or into fishing, or is this?
I love
like-
it myself.
Oh yeah. Well, used to be before I got really wrapped up with ham radio, but yeah, I used to go fly fishing all the time. I would go open water streams, lakes, whatever. I love fly fishing. But
I've never done fly fishing.
Whatever.
I love it too.
Only thing I caught on fly fishing was myself. So
yeah.
Fly fishing feels like very ham radio adjacent to me. I don't know. They feel the same to me somehow. I don't.
It looks like it would be interesting, but I've never tried it. My dad is he still is a big fisherman. He was a big fisherman when I was growing up. He was a fireman, so he worked one day and had 2 days off. So on his days off, a lot of the time, not all the time, but a lot of times he'd go fishing, and he'd take me and my brother with him during the summer when we were off of school. And I grew up sand bass fishing, rod and reel sand bass fishing, and we'd go out to the lakes and we'd kind of troll around the lake until we'd catch schools of sand bass. And literally, you'd throw your rod in, catch something, reel it in, throw it in the bottom of the boat, and throw back in. And we'd come home with 30, 40, 50 fish in an afternoon because the sand bass were schooling during that time of year.
See, yeah, and ours was similar. I mean, we did it all summer. We went fishing, but it was just like in our backyard. We'd go out in the hayfields, and there's streams running through it in Wyoming, and it's just you know.
Well, see, up there, you guys there's actually some places here now where you can go trout fishing, but trout in Texas is actually kind of rare because it usually doesn't get cold enough here.
Yeah,
but
too
now
hot.
people, so now there's some stock ponds where once the winter gets here, they'll go stock the pond with trout, and then people go out there and fish for them. Then once it gets warm next spring, all the trout will die off. But you guys up there in Wyoming, I imagine you did a lot of trout fishing up there, didn't you?
Yes, pretty much exclusively. There's some bottom feeders that you won't want to eat, but yeah.
we do a lot of spotted bay bass in the harbors of like Newport Beach and Balboa Island and all that good stuff.
You know what's
Float
fun
tube
is
around.
ice fishing. Ice fishing is very fun.
That is fun too. Yes.
I've never done that, but it does look fun, and I would like to try it. As much as I gripe about the cold, I think that would be fun.
You get a cabin. There's different ways that you can get a cabin. But I remember when I was a kid, a family friend, he decided he wanted to take me ice fishing because he only had daughters and he wanted to take me ice fishing.
Yeah.
And this is before cell phones existed. And we went out and then we went to another place. Anyways, long story short, we came home just before when it was getting dark. My mom comes outside running. She's panicking. And she's like, I called the cops. I called the fire station. I called because there's no cell phones. And she thought that we had fallen through the ice, right? But no.
Yeah. What's
So-
cool in Wyoming with the ice fishing, we make these things called snow planes. And if you look in the bayou, remember like bayou has those big turbine blades that like blow and you go through the bayou. Well, these things are similar, except for they're on skis and you drive across the frozen lake in them. They're really cool, fun.
Up here, we just bring a big pot of chili, sit out there in the ice and sip beer and watch everybody slip inside as they run out as far as they can to the tip up.
Sounds like a good time, buddy.
Sounds like a really good time. Yeah.
Something we do out here too is crab pooping or crab net fishing, and you just go on the pier, drop a boot like a big net on the ground, and it's baited, and you just wait a while, and you just as fast as you can hoist that net up, then you check them, and you got crab like a couple of once a year or whatever when they're spawning. You can get some free crab, just your fishing license and a little bit of gear. Pretty good stuff.
I do some do that by Catalina Island as well for the lobsters. They'll go out there
I
with
might
the
want to.
cages.
I might want to try that. Galveston has a ton of crab. Now the question is, are the beaches too dirty out there to eat the crab that on? But there are crab all over the beaches in Galveston, so I don't know how edible they may or may not be. But that sounds like an interesting plan. Let's say hi to Kyle. What's up, man? How are you?
Hey, I like crab.
Okay, good. Then you joined the right stream.
Okay.
You found the right place tonight.
Thanks.
You could definitely ham radio and crab fish. I just want to say that.
Yeah.
On the pier, set up an antenna. Heck yeah.
Could you make a crab an antenna? Could you antenna a crab?
You can antenna anything you
Only
want to.
the California varieties that are loaded with mercury, so they're
I was gonna
ferrous
say,
metal, and so you
Crab tenna.
that'll run a signal for you. Crab
Good old
tenna. I
crab
like it.
tenna.
Will it antenna?
Well, see, here in a little bit when it freezes, we can go up to Wellesley Island State Park and do a POTA and ice fish at the same time.
That sounds amazing.
No, that does sound amazing, actually. Yeah. What kind of fish do you fish when you go ice fishing?
There's
What kind of fish?
walleye, perch, trout.
Okay.
Yeah.
Force
Okay.
pump. Walleye, force punch, trout, bubblegum shrimp.
In northern Canada, like the most common is pike and pickerel or walleye. Like it depends on the lakes, but we have a lot of pike in northern Ontario. But
Well,
it's
pike.
Huh?
I've never gone pike fishing. I've always wanted to. I mean, I wouldn't mind going fishing for all kinds of good stuff, but
So the funnest is trolling. You were talking about trolling, like if you, and it's not like the YouTube warrior trolling, but you know what I'm talking about. And because when you catch pike, they're a strong fish, and it's a fight. It's a lot of fun, but they're really hard. A lot of people complain because they're really hard to clean, the Y bones and stuff. But from I grew up cleaning pike, so it doesn't bother me. But most people, they just like to throw them away, and they just say I don't like them because they don't know how to clean them. But anyways, fishing is fun. A lot of good memories.
do you fillet pike?
No, well, what do you? Yeah. It depends on how you want to do it. But like, if I understand what you're saying, you're doing.
Can you fillet a pike like you could like a crappie?
I don't know. I've never done a crappie.
Okay.
So I don't know. Like essentially, you like the back on a pike they usually, if it's a good size, they have you can just cut right across their spine. You have a huge chunk of meat there.
Right.
And
on
then
the side, cut the side off the fish. That's what filleting is.
Yeah. That's how you do it. Yeah. And then when you try to take the Y bones, there's like double layer of bones or something like that, and it's really hard to get out.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Some
You
people
cut the fish and then the mignon falls off of it. That's how you know you got the fillet.
Some people just gut the fish and they cook the whole fish. That's popular to do with catfish, but some people just cut beneath the front dorsal fin. I think it's the side fin.
Yeah.
You cut down to the spine, then you turn 90 degrees and you cut the slab of meat off the side.
That's how you do
fun.
pike.
And that's how you do like largemouth bass and sand bass and crappie. So
Wayne Johnson says they're like freshwater barracuda.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that is. But
Barracudas, man, they have teeth.
Oh, so do pike. You got to run.
Well, yeah, I know pike, but
leader
like barracuda,
on
even
A
worse.
pike is like a gar fish.
a pike is like a gar. See, we have gar down here.
Get the gars out of there. Get them out.
You could even, in an oversized pike, they're called the muskies, muskellunge. They're big, but they're fun too.
I live near the carp capital of the world. And I've never eaten carp. I've never fished it. Never eaten it.
I will refuse.
I grew up hearing that carp was not good, and then I had a couple of friends at work that I worked with one time, and they're like, "No. If you cook it correctly, carp is great."
Those are the fish that jump into the boat, right? The Japanese carp.
Those are the fish that when you're on the pier,
Asian.
people throw ice cream into the pier, into the lake next to the pier, and they all come up there.
You know what we did with carp? I was younger when I was in the Boy Scouts. We bow hunted them. We'd go out on the Blackfoot Reservoir and with these bows with with these arrows with a string tied to them and shoot them in the water.
Yeah,
that was the way we fished for them. It's cool.
Welcome to the Fishing and Ham Radio Show.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
I always kind of like fishing. When you're calling CQ, you don't know what you're going to get. You can
That's
get
right.
You can get a 200-pound tarpon, or you can get a 200-pound tarpon. Might be a big tarpon, but
yeah.
I like the comment Wayne gave. Carp is just a big goldfish.
It's true.
I've eaten carp. It's gross.
Yeah,
really?
agreed.
Okay, I've never had it. So
I've always thought of them as a garbage fish.
They are.
That's what I've always heard they were. But so swimming pigeons. Greg says they're swimming pigeons.
That's a good way to put it.
Well, what's crazy is I only learned this a couple of years ago. I only moved here a couple of years ago, but like I said, our town near me is the carp capital of the world. People come from all over the world to come here. There's like people from China, from everywhere.
It's big in it's big in Asia.
And big carp fishing tournaments all over up there on the St. Lawrence. It is.
Yeah.
It's real big.
I'm right off the St. Lawrence, so yeah, it's crazy.
Well, you're not far from me there, Molson. You're just across the river.
We can wave at each other. Hello.
Probably could hit each other on 2 meters.
We could probably meet up at the res. Is what we could do. No, to go to the States from here, you go through the Akwesasne res, and
we definitely hit on something because everybody's screaming about carp right now in the chat.
Yeah. Dustin says carp is delicious if you're hungry enough.
If you're hungry enough, you'd be surprised what you eat if you're hungry enough.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just gonna put it like that. But no. So somebody, let's see, who was it? I missed the. Okay, Lindsay Hicks says tilapia is a bottom feeder. Well, I don't care. Tilapia is great.
Also very farmed.
It's good.
Here's the thing. When we're in Galveston, there's a couple of food trucks that are down there that are extensions of a restaurant that's there. And when you go in and order fish tacos, I say, what kind of fish is it? And they say tilapia. I'm like, that's not seafood. I mean, that didn't come out of the ocean. You had that frozen and shipped to you. So tilapia is a freshwater fish. So if I'm going to get fish tacos in a coastal community, I want swordfish or something like shark or something like that. But so we always get the shrimp tacos because the shrimp they do catch there in the Gulf and bring it in every morning.
You should go to New England and get some lobster rolls. Those are excellent.
Yes.
Well, when you go to Maine, you'll be getting lobster rolls everywhere on the side of the road.
Yeah,
that guy's a pickup truck selling
lobster rolls in
rolls.
St. Louis and lobster rolls in Maine are two totally different things.
Not the same thing. Yep, not the same thing.
By the way,
you
lobster.
gotta go pretty far out in Maine to get lobster rolls for that cheap. I used to go to Portland, Maine all the time. They ain't cheap there.
Well, no, they're not cheap, but they're better than Mississippi lobster rolls.
Oh yeah, they're
Mississippi River lobster rolls.
Here's the thing. I'm always I like crab legs and stuff, but when you go to the Chinese buffet and they have the crab legs and things, I'm always afraid to eat them. I don't know why. It's like if anything at a buffet, especially crabs or lobster or anything like that, is on a buffet that's $9.99 all you can eat.
You're smart.
I wonder where it came from. I'm really concerned.
Well, yeah. I don't know though. I mean, at least it's not an unborn duck. So.
Balut. Shout out to Balut.
Shout out to Balut. Yeah.
Gross.
The Chinese eat some weird stuff, but I tell you what. I mean,
Filipino primarily.
Is that Filipino? Okay.
Yeah, but
okay.
Now
but you were saying
popular.
weren't you saying your in-laws really liked it?
My in-laws are Chinese.
I
From
know.
Vietnam that fled to the Philippines, and that's.
But they like balut.
Oh yeah, well,
okay.
A lot of Asians like balut.
Okay.
A lot of Americans like balut. Well, some Americans like balut. It hasn't really taken off here.
Yeah. No.
But
no.
it's very popular. It is.
I can't imagine why, but yeah. No, it's yeah. I mean, there's weird stuff you can get in overseas countries, and it's all right. I mean, they some of it's good. Some of the stuff that you think it sounds weird. Some of it's actually quite tasty. So. And it is you might be surprised what you're willing to eat if you're hungry enough. So people say I'd never eat deer liver. bet you would if you're hungry enough.
Not a
So-
big liver fan. Anything
not either.
minerally like that, I don't like it. Like
I'm
I
not
can't do
either.
the coagulated blood
Yeah.
thing that shows up in
Mm.
some Asian dishes. I can eat it. I'm just not a big fan.
Yeah.
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 Blood
Yeah, they like that
sausage.
intestine stuff. Ugh.
Haggis.
Sundae, Korean blood sausage is really good, and that has
Hmm.
liver and stuff in it. Or what's the Filipino really good lechon with organ meat in it? Oh, I've lost it. I've lost it. Anyway, sorry.
But
We call that chorizo.
Oh, sisig. Sisig.
Sisig. Chorizo.
Chorizo's good too.
Yeah.
I like
Chorizo's
I like
excellent.
chorizo.
Chorizo's really good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Talking about chorizo, what's going on with Brett? Brett, what's with the new look down there? I don't.
It's cold, man.
What's that with chorizo?
What's that have to do with chorizo?
Boy, Brett,
You're
what's
in
up?
a t-shirt. Putting on a hat doesn't warm you.
You got
Right.
it.
Yes, it does.
hat
Where
on.
it comes out.
Yes,
of.
it
Wearing a
does.
beanie warms you. Don't listen
Yes,
to them,
it-
Joe Brett.
Yes,
Please
it
do not
does.
listen to them.
You
It
put
does-
on
it does
you
warm
put on thick socks and you put on a beanie cap. That's going to be the most warming you're going to get.
That's it.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
wearing tennis shoes tonight instead of my Crocs. It is cold, man.
You guys are in
So
like
I'm gonna
sweatshirt
jump
weather
off
down
here. It was nice seeing everybody. Have
See
a
ya, Kat.
great night.
Behave yourself, Cat.
Bye.
Bye.
I'll try
See
my
ya.
best to behave
Yeah.
myself. Bye.
I'm sure you will.
Have a great-
Yeah.
Somebody will
What if-
drop the real number in the chat, but you lose the majority of the heat from your body through your head.
Yeah.
And that's
Yes.
why wearing a beanie when you sleep, particularly outdoors if you're tent camping or whatever, is
Yeah.
Is this better?
very important.
There is no
Yes.
there's
That's better.
Yeah.
That's how we should
So-
see you from now on.
So I forgot to open this at the beginning, Josh, but I got a spicy pickle beer this time.
Oh, yeah.
So-
I gotta tell
Somebody-
you, I love
some-
this.
We
I
know
love the
you
pickle
didn't
beer.
open it because you
I
didn't
had
want people
the
doing
one
the
I had was
chat.
sour though, which I don't think is the way to go. I don't
Okay.
think that's
So
the way.
here's the super chat beer for everybody who's interested. TC Fitz is in the house. He already gave me a super chat. You don't have to give me another one. So here's to TC Fitz.
There you go.
Have to.
So
He usually gives you about 4 or 5 of them when you're doing the pickle beer.
Oh, I haven't had Scrapple.
That's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. And it's
think you're-
spicy.
I think you're starting to like it. You're drinking it too much now, and now you're
think you
starting to
might-
generate a taste
think
for
you might
it.
be.
Now you're gonna be a pickle
think you might be
connoisseur,
right.
pickle beer
Yeah.
connoisseur pretty soon.
Next thing you know, I'll be eating deer liver. But yep, yeah, you might be right. God, that's got a kick to it as far as the spice goes. That's not bad at all.
It's gonna turn into a pickle.
So
I have a question for you guys. There's a comment that somebody had said. They asked Jody asked me if I lived near the Diefen bunker, which was a bunker that was built for all our politicians back in the day. And it reminded me that one of the biggest disappointments was watching a documentary and realizing that bunkers are irrelevant with today's weaponry. Like that's like
Yeah.
we have this big one where NORAD was, and they don't even use it anymore. They just use it as a warehouse. Is there any new like things that are like you guys, conspiracy theory or whatever, that new ways that they're doing bunkers for protection? Like, come on, they got to have some new way to protect the president of the United States. Like,
Yeah, you just go further underground.
right.
Well, there's a
I think
company
it's just
called
deeper.
there's a
The
company
way they-
called Atlas Bunkers, and they're doing great business right now, building.
but that's not gonna-
bunkers for the millionaires.
I got an idea. Launch them to space.
One of the ways that the U.S. protects its president is they make sure that the vice president is a bigger idiot than the president. Come on.
Mission accomplished.
Yes.
Mission
Quayle.
accomplished,
That's
and
kinda
that is saying something right now. Mission
Oh,
accomplished, though. So
Yeah, they had to scrape the bottom of the barrel pretty hard to find this one.
oh wow, it's not good when it's at room temperature. Whew. Thank you for the super chats. Not. Oh my goodness, that's okay.
What do you
Leah,
got there, Scott?
Leia's in the chat. If Leia wants to join, she's welcome to.
Leia
Well,
is in the chat talking. Somebody brought up natto, and natto is the only thing that I can put on my belt as a food that I will eat and enjoy that she will not eat.
Okay, explain what natto is. I haven't heard of that one.
Natto is you ever get the soybeans or the edamame, the Japanese restaurants?
Yes,
We'll
yes.
take soybeans, but then like ferment them, like let them really get
Gross.
ripe. to the point that when you open it, like they're brown and they're like got these long gossamer threads of goo. You eat it with rice and very hot mustard, and you mix it all up and you eat it. It's actually really good. It's really good.
Oh no,
I
it's
like
not.
It.
No, it's
Really
not.
good.
One of my
But
daughters
Leia will not touch it.
I don't believe you,
sound good.
Jason.
Leia says,
Josh.
Doesn't sound good.
I'm quoting Leia. She says that it tastes how she feels corpses would taste.
I believe her.
That's accurate.
Why would you eat
Is what
that?
she says. I don't know. I like it. I don't.
One of my
I don't
daughters
go and
will
eat
eat
it all
it.
the time. Occasionally.
Hey, let's go to the
college student
graveyard for a
daughter eats it.
buffet.
Let me see how
Oh,
rotten
it's good
something will
stuff.
get, and I'll like it.
I had an Advent bourbon calendar, and I did a video on it. And one of the bourbons in there, I described to my friends and some other people that it tasted like Vicks Vapor Rub smells, and it was just horrible. It was horrible.
Mint flavored. Yeah.
But Josh, there's a dish I had when I was in China. There's two, and I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was like it would look brown, and it's like
Most people don't know.
gelatin, and then like or maybe it was fat, and at the bottom was like pork or something. It was like they cut it in cubes, and it was like you're eating gelatin or fat, and then you just get this little piece of meat at the end. I don't remember what it was.
It's probably fat. I mean,
Yeah.
my wife is in the
Pork
chat.
belly?
She's hearing you, so she may tell you what she.
If you know what it is, like it's been a few years, but I don't. But I've always wondered what it was. The other part is if you go to a restaurant, that I realize they always give you this bowl of greens, which tastes the best.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, I think it's cooked cabbage. And if you're an American over there and you need to find the American toilet, it doesn't work well for you because,
It's a hole in the ground.
Yeah, well, like I was I needed to know when I was in Shenzhen or Guangzhou or whatever it was. I always was the first thing when I got to the town was where's the American toilet? Because you always will go to the American mall and you find the American toilet. That's what you do. And like because like and then but you couldn't eat that stuff because like
most of
I gotta go to an American establishment to find an American toilet.
Where's the Canadian toilet?
I was about to say Molson's not even American, but that's not true. Molson is American. Okay, I had to catch myself on that.
But
North.
Canada is in North America.
North.
Yeah, but
Canadian.
even at the American Mall, like there's like 30 stalls in a row, and I'm just walking through it, pushing the doors open, and there's the last stall at the end. So I always knew that's where when we were in Shenzhen, I always had to go to that mall if I had to go to the washroom because.
So is this like somebody's Jello mold kind of thing they flipped out, but it's like fat, like translucent fat?
It might be. It looked pretty. I'm going by memory. And the other thing that was at that restaurant we were eating, they had on the Lazy Susan. I was eating and I was trying to figure out what it was. At the same time, my brain's trying to figure out what that scratching in the wall was. And that's no lie. That's true. I was like, shh, everybody quiet. And it was just a normal thing that they had rats in the walls at the restaurant. It was my first experience with that. But there was this like dish and yeah.
I wonder if it was bone broth.
Yeah, but it was
I'd have to see
congealed like
pictures.
Jell-O.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about. I just can't put the name to it. Maybe
they have
pork belly.
No, because it sounds like it's not a piece of meat. It was like a gelatinous thing.
There's very
They
little
cut
meat at the
into
bottom.
cubes,
Yeah.
and it was just a gelatinous cube.
Yeah.
With meat in the bottom.
Yeah.
There's a local farm I've found here up near my hunting lease where I can go get farm fresh eggs and raw milk, which is fantastic, by the way. And he slaughters his own cows and pigs and whatnot. And he had bone broth today. And I didn't get any, but I sent a picture to my wife. I was like, hey, do you want any of this? She's like, I've tried that. It's supposed to be really good for you, but she just couldn't stomach it. I was like, I thought you cooked with it, but apparently you're supposed to like drink it like it's a vitamin or something.
You can cook with it too.
Well, the Vietnamese
You
soup,
can.
the pho is made with bone broth.
Love
pho. Oh, is it? Okay, I don't care for soup in general, and the couple of times I've had pho, I was just like, I didn't dislike it. I was just kind of like, what else you got? So
when it's 20 below, it tastes really good.
So Josh, your wife just realized that I'm Molson, and I remember watching that podcast. She goes, "I don't know what the craze is about Molson," and I was like, "Should I feel offended?"
Oh my gosh!
I had to explain to her. I'm like, Molson is a human from Canada.
Well,
Molson
he's
is a popular beer up there.
He's Canadian. I mean, so.
And I'm drinking whiskey out of a Tim Hortons cup because I don't have another cup here. So yeah,
that's the most Canadian thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get another real beer. But I took 2 beers out of the fridge and I poured one in my glass and I set the second one outside because it's like 35 degrees outside, which is colder than my refrigerator. So I'll be right back.
Yeah. So Jody just said Molson is one of the agents in the Canadian Shield. That's how that works. Instead of Agent Coulson, it's Agent Molson.
There you go. That's pretty good.
The other experience when I was in China was we're all sitting there in a meeting at a restaurant, and the first day I'm there, and they're like, "Hey, you want a beer?" I said, "Yeah, sure." So they bring out these bottles of Qingdao or whatever, however I think that's how you pronounce it, Qingdao.
Qingdao.
Anyways, and they're just like regular sized bottles that we drink here, just a little bit bigger, smaller than a 40, but bigger than a regular. Anyway, so I
Qingdao.
Yeah, I just
had that.
I just take it, I
Korean
start
size
drinking
bottles.
it. I just start drinking it, and then the guy's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What? I'm drinking." You asked me if I want a beer. He goes, "No, what are you doing?" And he takes this little glass and he gives it to me.
Yeah, that's
I said-
that's the whole table.
And I'm just like, three more, like, I'm like, this is a waste of time, eh? Like, just give me the bottle. So finally, they gave me the bottle.
I've had Tsingtao beer. I've had several Asian beers. I can't remember the names of them all, but they all taste like Bud Light.
They're all very ricey to me. They got like a rice.
Sorry, my
I'm
face.
not a big fan.
Yeah.
Well, the problem with the beer
sake is much better.
The problem with the
100%.
beer when I was in China is you need to drink like 90 of them just to get a light buzz.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're supposed to drink it with hard stuff like soju goes with height or B, and then you drink what was it? You just said it. Sake with whatever. You're supposed to drink the hard stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now you guys keep mentioning sake. Do you like filtered or unfiltered?
I don't care.
Yes.
I don't care.
Warm or cold? That's the good question.
So I got cued into the warm sake is usually like the worst sake. It's like the bargain basement cheap stuff that they just keep throwing in the warmer, whatever's left over, whatever, and just keep it going. And that's what they serve. Maybe I'm wrong. But if you want like the good stuff, you just get the bottle and they serve it. You get the bottle and you serve it yourself. That's much better sake.
We usually refrigerate the unfiltered stuff and just drink a couple bottles of that between a couple of us, and it's pretty decent.
Leia, I'm not a big soup fan. And it's not that I didn't like pho. I was just like,
you might not have done it right.
Maybe. I don't know.
Bad restaurant.
I don't know.
Pho's one of those things where they come out with a plate, like a sidecar of like all this extra stuff, and you just throw everything. In
Oh
that
yeah,
bowl.
it's like a Mongolian barbecue type thing.
Yeah,
those are the
you gotta
best.
get all the greens. And
Those
the
are the best.
sprouts
Yeah.
and
Those are
tons
the
of
best,
jalapeno slices. Just get it all up in there.
The one place I've been to with pho that you just ordered off the menu, you like order it with X, Y, and Z ingredients, and I was like, well, okay. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just soup with stuff in it.
What is it? Pho deck?
So
I have a restaurant I go to for pho, and I'll probably get you banned, but and I'm not making this up. It's called pho. I'm gonna make a long pause.
And then the letter
King.
Yeah, kitchen.
Okay. I've seen one called PHO-Q. So if you sound that
It's
out,
the same. Yeah,
but
kind of the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. Whatever. It's it's not terrible. I just like okay, whatever.
I mean, it's good. It's at least good.
Well, yeah, good is not terrible. Yeah, it's not terrible. So, but you know what? There's only about 150 different ways to order it also. So
it's just the meat. It's the same base. You're just going to choose if you get like tendon or tripe or brisket, steak, whatever.
Brisket.
Aiden's asking what kind of whiskey. It's 40 Creek Double Barrel Reserve Canadian whiskey. Yeah.
Even Leia's like, so how about them ham radios? She says, so how great is the ID52? Am I right?
Way to go, Leia. Yeah. Bringing us back in.
My wife. It's like, yeah, moving on, guys. Stop with this, whatever you're doing.
Oh my gosh.
Jason, is that farmer where the
live stream?
Is that farmer where the brisket's gonna come from for field day?
No, I don't think he has brisket. He only had, when I was there today, the only thing he had beef-wise was ground beef. He didn't have any. He's had steaks in the past, but he didn't have any today.
And you have a whole field full of cows?
Yeah. Hey, the thing about farm-raised cows up here, same as farm-raised pigs, there's not much fat on them. So you can't actually get bacon out of pigs. And the briskets I've had from, yeah, I know it. And the briskets I've had from farm raised cattle in this area, because we like to buy our we don't buy meat from the store. We buy, I either shoot it or we buy it from like a local farm. And we've been doing that. No, not cow hunting, like deer hunting, pig hunting. No, yeah, I know you are. But yeah, no, my wife used to know Rhea dropped out. Hold on. My wife used to know these people out about an hour east of here that had their own ranch, and they raised cattle and pigs and chickens and whatnot. We'd buy a side of beef from them once a year or something like that. But the brisket out of that cattle was not very good. I say it wasn't very good. It wasn't very fatty, so it wasn't as good as
you gotta have fat, man.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Yeah. So I didn't think. I mean, it wasn't bad. It's just like, brisket's supposed to be more tasty and flavorful than this. So
can you imagine a ribeye without any fat?
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's called a filet mignon.
Right.
The price of brisket though lately hasn't really made it very popular for me to go off and buy a bunch of them.
No,
and
for like $20 a pop, like $80 a pop.
Mm-hmm.
Brisket was always traditionally like the not good cut, right? That you were buying to save money, and then now with the barbecue explosion, everybody's like, "Well, I could do this. I know how to barbecue," and they go butcher it in their backyard.
Half the viewers are going to be out firing up their grills.
Oh yeah,
everybody hungry.
It's always It's always turns into some sort of food discussion on this show, which is fine.
You kicked it off right from the beginning about this seafood.
Well, yeah, I just it was a preemptive strike. I mean, it was going to go that way anyhow. So.
Hey, I'm going to drop off, guys. It's
all right, Tom.
Everybody.
See
you too, man. Thanks for joining us tonight. So, but I am going to go there, Mike, and get some. He's got some spicy pork sausage, like breakfast sausage. And I'm going to get some of that. I might get some eggs, depending on where Noel gets his egg. Noel said he was going to buy eggs. I told him I'd buy them for him. But I'm going to get that farm raised stuff. It's right across the road from the hunting lease. It's like a mile that way.
So much better, Jason.
Are you planning for Orlando right now? Is that what we're doing?
No, Winterfield Day next weekend.
Okay, right.
Local, man, it's the way to go.
Yeah, yes, absolutely agree. Yeah, he has he raises his own bees. So he has honey that is so there's something about, somebody can correct me on this because I'm gonna say it wrong. There's something about honey that is made in the area where you live. Yeah. Something about how honey is the pollen, and if you eat the honey in where you live, the pollen that it's made with is supposed to prevent allergies to have, like if you have allergies around stuff where you live. If you buy honey from like several states away, it doesn't have the same effect. But if you buy and eat honey from your local area, it's supposed to help with your allergies and whatnot to stuff you might be allergic to in your area.
You know, I'm going to gain 15 pounds this summer just because of that whole idea, right?
Oh man,
you have to eat like a tablespoon or two a day.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like a spoonful a day of local honey.
Yeah,
down the whole bottle and gain 50 pounds. It's on you.
Right. He also has elderberry juice, which I had to go.
That's another.
Right, it's like
smells of elderberry.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I thought of. But so I bought a bottle of that, a little like pint, not even a pint, like a half pint bottle. It's like $16. So I bought a bottle of that, and I read on it, and I'm like, oh, you just take like a spoonful of this every day, and it's supposed to help with your immune system. I'm like, okay, cool. Natural stuff, man. No drugs at all. So it's all just natural remedies and berries and natural honey. And that's kind of what I'm all about, but it's good stuff. So yeah.
So who learned about here in the States, who learned about elderberries from Monty Python and the Holy Grail? Your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries. I didn't know a thing about elderberries before that.
Oh, yeah, totally. Okay, Ron, W4ORH says Ham Tactical sent me, so here's to you.
Uh-oh. What did we do? What are we doing now?
I don't know. You're sending people to the stream,
Leia apparently is doing something.
Oh, she might be.
Hey, Charlie, Schweppers or Canada Dry?
Schwepp, man.
Oh, gosh.
But that's just because what I had in the fridge. Canada Dry. Actually, Burners are the best.
Burners is gross.
Canada Dry is the bomb.
Burners is the best, man.
Is that
Burners, man?
Talking about ginger ale?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ginger ale?
Yeah, I do the hard stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Berners is from Detroit too, and I'm just
I don't know what's wrong with you, man.
Canada Dry. I'll do that all day
Dude,
long.
Canada Dry is fine.
Pota popper.
Canada Dry is the only decent ginger ale.
The best
Ginger-
ginger ale is when you're in a plane. It doesn't matter who makes it.
Yeah.
You're in a plane.
Ginger beer is good.
Oh,
so if you go to the store and look in the root beer, the soda section, ginger beer is like root beer. It's non-alcoholic. They just make it out of ginger root instead of whatever root beers are made out of. But it's actually quite and that's what they put in a Moscow Mule.
Yeah.
But it's non-alcoholic, and it's actually very tasty. It's like if you like ginger.
If you really
it's
like ginger.
Well, it's not. To me, it doesn't taste that potent, but I know that some people have different flavor palettes and whatnot, and some people think that ginger's way too potent. I'm not one of those people, but I really like it. I thought it's tasty. But if you're talking about just like Nature's Child says tonic water, Topo Chico is the best thing for that.
I don't like tonic water.
I don't like tonic water.
I'm not a fan.
No. Never been a fan. Can't do it. That's got the it's got that something that prevents scurvy in it.
You can laugh at me, but gin and tonic is good. I enjoy that.
Can't.
Gin and tonic is not bad. I mean, I'll
enjoy
drink a
that.
gin. If I go over to somebody's house and say, "Do you want a gin and tonic?" Yeah, sure. But I mean, I don't ask for it. But
I can attest you can get pretty hammered off gin and tonic, so it's good.
oh yeah. So Dustin Watt. I don't know how to say your last name, so I'm not going to try it. He says it's pop, not soda, and you're wrong on both accounts. It's actually a Coke.
It's Coke.
So, there's that. But I try to say soda as much as I can.
The pop always confused me. It's like, oh no, we decided to rename it.
That's
Based
a
on
northern
the sound
thing.
it makes.
Yeah.
Soda pop, eh?
So I'm gonna go get in my vroom vroom and go down to the something. I don't.
Jason, you know a Coke that I really miss? I haven't been able to find in a while. Is the Big Red, man? They don't have that out here.
Oh, we got it out here.
We've got that here.
Yeah,
I love that stuff. Big Red.
Hey, Charlie, remind me before I'm going to drive out there in July. Remind me, and I'll bring you some.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you guys?
Big
Big Red?
Like a cream soda-ish kind of.
It's like red soda. Yeah.
Last year
in Michigan, it's called Faygo Red Pop.
Big Red's better than that Fanta stuff. Or if that's what you're talking about.
Fanta's nasty.
I like Fanta.
Last year when they had the aluminum storage, did you guys I know our local producers are the ones who supply Canada. They stopped making anything that had pigment color in it. So like cherry Coke or not cherry, but like club soda, the purple, the pink, all that stuff. Did you guys have the same thing, or the same thing happen with you guys?
No.
Not that I recall. No.
We have freedom down here.
Yeah.
Some of us do, Craig. Don't get too mouthy over there in California, buddy.
I do have one question. I do have a question for you guys, though.
RC Cola. I'll drink RC Cola all day long.
RC's good.
Yeah.
What, Charlie? What?
Regarding that aisle in the grocery store, it's been 3 weeks now, and we have not been able to, we've been to multiple grocery stores, have not been able to find distilled water. You guys?
Go to your pharmacy.
The only time
the shelves are
Walmart got it's by the Walmart's got gallons of it.
Well, they usually do, but
the only time I buy distilled water is for my humidor. Honestly,
well, that's why there's a shortage. Apparently, we read that there's like all the people that have respirators with all the COVID and all that stuff like that. But
CPAP machines use it.
We can't find it anywhere, man. It's crazy.
Just make your own.
Yeah, you can make your own.
Yeah. With
all I do is boil water.
The efficiency is what, 2% to get you like 50 gallons in and 2 drops out.
Well, a real hand would find out how to make it 98% efficient, but just saying.
You make a still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it drips. Yeah, you have to condensate, and then it has to. Yeah, I know how to make it.
Yeah.
It sounds.
If you add potatoes, it becomes even better.
And that's
I don't
understand.
I haven't noticed that. I haven't noticed the store being short on it, but I haven't looked for it in a long time either, so I don't know.
Charlie, if worst comes to worst, I'll meet you in Blythe or Quartzsite.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good. We'll meet halfway, and you can, for sure.
Well, this was the weekend to do
Bring
that.
the distillery.
They're all in Quartzsite right now.
Yeah. In fact, Chuck replied to my email with the invite to this, and he said that he was going to try to make it tonight, but he's on his way to Quartzsite. And I'm like, you know what? That's going to be on my bucket list. I said this last year and it didn't happen, but I'm going to try next year to go to Courtside. The problem with Courtside is that it's a week long, so it ends the same weekend as Winter Field Day, and I really like doing Winter Field Day out here. So
what is Courtside?
The whole week.
It's in
no,
it's
you
in
don't have to stay the whole week.
Quartz
You ask
Fest
where
is
it
in
is?
Quartzsite, California. It's
Oh.
boondocking. It's
It's-
a bunch of
yeah.
RVers out boondocking, and there's a portion of it, a pretty big portion, that's all
Quartzsite,
ham radio
Arizona.
based. So you
That's-
get
yeah.
Gordo's out there. KE0OG, he always heads out there. A lot of some of the YouTubers. I think did Kevin Laughlin go? I think he's
He's
been
down
before.
that way.
Yeah,
UDA's been there 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
and
Bob used to go,
Jerry
huh?
Yeah.
Ray always goes, so he can
Yeah,
drag
Ray
his,
goes,
his
yeah.
rolling Taj Mahal out in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like Jerry Ellsworth and Amy are always there.
Mhm.
It's really fun. Everything I've seen. I
Yeah.
also have to go. I keep threatening, but I don't. I want to go and stay, and I don't really have a camper to boondock. So that's.
I'm going to
that's
try
part of the
next year. I can fold my seats in my Ram 2500 for a. That's as close as I get to a camper.
Well, I'm going to downsize my camper probably in another month or 2. The big one that I brought to Huntsville, I'm going to downsize it. I'm going to sell it and get a smaller one. So, and the purpose of me doing that is so that I can drag it around the country in an easier fashion.
higher wheelbase. Get something a little bit that might be able to go off road a little bit.
Yeah.
What do you drag your camper with?
My F250.
Just by hand.
F250?
Just by
Yeah.
hand.
Just by hand.
He's got it.
Yeah. No, I have an F250, but it's not diesel. That's the problem.
I have a
So,
Cummins in mine, but I'm in a
yeah.
lawsuit with Chrysler. Lemon Law.
I'm not. Yeah. But yeah, so I want something that it's going to be a little bit easier to drag around the country. I want to take it back to Huntsville. I want to take it to Dayton. 2 or 3 other
Courtside
places.
would be cool, yeah. But you got, like you said, it's definitely. I don't know if do people do the tents out there? I don't think they do. Do they?
Some do, but
I think they do.
It's more comfortable to be in a camper if you're
Yeah,
really
well,
out
and
there
there's
talking like
barren
that
as
There's
for-
no hotels out there either. So
No, you're straight
Right,
up
it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
No,
it's-
there's
you're
not much
packing
of
in.
anything in
California,
Quartzsite.
Arizona border, and I think I don't know if whether Josh or me are closer, but I think
Oh,
I mean, it's 4
I'm
hours.
real close.
How
I'm
are
real
how about
close.
you?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's about 2.5. Yeah,
Well,
might
so
be about
Josh has
3
no
from me.
excuse.
Depending on how I
That's-
drive, but yeah.
that's not a
Yeah.
place
Pretty
where
close.
you're going to
Straight
go.
out I-10.
That's not a place where you're going to go for your first camping boondocking experience.
No.
You
No.
need to have some experience
No.
before you go out there.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, I just didn't want to. I mean, one of the reasons I didn't go this year is because I didn't want to drag my big ass camper out there because I want to downsize it and make it easier to drag around the country. And then once I get something that's smaller and lighter weight, I really do want to. I really want to take a tour around the entire 48 states. I mean, I'm not probably not all at once, but yeah, Quartzsite is definitely on my list of things to do. I just need a
That
better
sounds cool.
camper to do that with. So
So Jason, are you bringing anything to Grand Canyon trip?
if I have a new camper by then, Charlie, I will probably bring it.
Okay, the reason I'm
If-
asking is because I've kind of switched things. We're gonna do Mather Campground, and so I'm wondering if I ought to get a spot for an RV or not. Because I'm switching it up a little bit because
Okay.
the facilities kind of concern me. We need to be closer to facilities. So
Okay.
I've already
I
got-
looked at that campground. That shower, good
yeah,
job on
it's
that
a good
one.
shower.
If I can get a shower every 2 days, it's
Yep.
you're gonna
That
you're gonna
shower
have
is
a
awesome.
happy Kyle on your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good shower. I've every time we do the rim to rim, that's where we stop and pay the $1 change or whatever to shower before we hit home. Yeah. All right. So what? Probably get an RV spot then, you think, just in case?
Yeah, if things go the way I'd like them to, then yes, I will have a smaller camper by then, which I would be happy to drag out there. So yes, because I love the RV life. I love the RV driving around, staying in an RV. I really like that experience. But like I said, the one I have now is just a monster, and I love it. I really do. But I either need to downgrade it, to downsize it, or I need to get a diesel truck, and I'm not really willing to get rid of my truck, especially not with the price of diesel gas right now and having to deal with DEF and all that kind of crap. So, I mean, the only thing I would use a diesel for is to drag that one camper, and I'm talking about 4 or 5 trips a year. I'm not talking about every other weekend. So it's just not worth it to trade my truck in. And somebody said in the chat I should get a truck camper. I have a topper, and I have turned my bed into a type of camping room type thing. I've done that a couple of times on some trips. I would like to have like a 4-wheel pop-up camper like Adam had when we were all in California last October, whenever that was.
Yeah, the taco.
Yeah, he had the toggle, but he had the 4-wheel camper in there that would pop down, and then you could pop it up when you're camping. I'd like to have something like that, and I might end up with something like that one of these days. But I also have this RV that I have now that I'm going to trade in and get something smaller, so I'm going to have that to go as well. And if I get the type that I want to get, it's going to be light enough where I can just take it everywhere.
What are you going to get? You're going to get like a Rockwood or a Coleman, or what are you going to get?
The Jayco is the one I've been looking at. But a buddy of mine at the hunting lease, he got one. I can't remember the brand on it right now, but it's got the roof of it is made out of PVC. Like you see some of these decks at beach houses that it looks like a wood deck, but it's PVC. It's really expensive. But they're making roofs of campers out of PVC now, which is basically good for like 100 years. And it's got solar panels on top of it, and it's got a pop-out room. It's got single axle.
Yep.
So it's shorter and lighter because the one I have now is a double axle. It's because it's so heavy. But the one he got was really, and he told me where he got it and what he paid for it. And I'm like, that's exactly what I need. Maybe something just a touch smaller, but it's got 4 beds in it. It's got a double bed up front. It's got 2 bunk beds in the back, and then the living room pops out, and the table in the living room folds down into a bed. So
how long of a trailer?
21, 18 to 21. I don't remember exactly. Somewhere in there. It's not very long. The one I have now is 27.
Yeah.
So it's 21-ish, I think.
Yeah, I've been looking at the 20-footers, the single axle 20-footers, and like the Geo Pros, the ones that are about 3,500 without any water and whatnot. But the price, or the problem that I've got is I've wanted a camper for a long time, but now everyone's getting a camper. So the campers that I saw at an RV show 4 years ago that were $17,000 are now $30,000.
Yeah.
But I would really like to buy a school bus and convert that. I think
that would be awesome.
Jason, if you want your YouTube channel to go to a million subscribers, just buy a bus and convert it. But that is like super fun, and you can make it whatever you want. That would be an ideal project. That would be fun.
That's a lot of work.
Oh, it's not hard. I know weekends work. Come on.
A weekend's work.
So just buy the bus and put it next to the DX Commander.
Exactly.
Right.
Or,
Jason,
the question is, will the bus?
Sorry, I had to. And at this point, Jason knows it's more
What's
just
the DX
a
Commander
joke-making
in the bus?
Machine now. We put words into it and say DX Commander, and jokes come out.
It's gonna be epic when I actually build my DX Commander. I have a plan. I have a plan.
It's built up enough. You should just fly out Callum and have him build it this way.
He was on a lunchtime stream and he threatened to fly out, and I'm like, yes. I'm like, can you imagine the hero I would be in the ham radio community if I got Callum to come to the USA? Let's do that.
You should just split the airfare with him. And and you can stay in my camper, buddy. Here we go.
I can already see the story of the shots that you're going to put together, Callum, with the DX Commander already built, and you walk, out your back door, and you're just like, what are you doing here? I built it.
I built it.
I got so pissed off. I flew over from Manchester. He's not.
So
Manchester,
the Sparky 566 says, "Hi, all. New hammer passed today. Congrats. Dude. Thanks for being here tonight. Welcome to the madness." So,
awesome.
definitely great to see new people getting their license for sure. But that'd be fun. No, but we're talking about campers. What I want to do, Kyle, is I want to go to the RV shop. So my buddy Mike at my hunting lease, he said he went to an RV shop just inside the border of Oklahoma. He's like, I shopped around all these places. They have the best prices, really good customer service. What I want to do is I want to go in there and say, I want to know what your smallest camper is with a bathroom shower combo, because all these small overlanding campers that are just like basically a pull behind bed.
Right.
Those are those 19 footers, man. Those 19 footers, the Geo Pro, the Geo Light, the E-Light, all those Forest Rivers have got stand-up showers in them.
Yeah. And that's what I want. I want basically the smallest bumper pull I can get with a stand-up shower and bathroom in it.
Right. Not wet bath, an actual shower.
Right. Correct.
Right.
An actual shower. Yes, that's right. because you're basically self-sufficient if you're at a place like, say, Montesano, like we were in August. I'm like, that was great. Of course, we our RV spot was right across the bathhouse from the bathhouse. So Frank and Mike went over to the bathhouse every morning. I was like, "See you guys. I'm going to use my own shower over here." But that option was there. But it was perfectly self-sustaining there, and that's what I want. I don't want to go camping out in the woods somewhere and have to go pee behind a tree. So
yeah, that is my early retirement goal. Is whenever I retire, I just want to buy an RV and then just head west and have no map, no plan. I just want to go to the mountains and boondock for weeks and do ham radio and soda and POTA and just like, and get my Starlink so I can, still get on the internet.
Right.
Just go.
Yes. And I told we were sitting at dinner the other night at our 20-year anniversary, and I was told my wife, I was like, we were talking about plans for, she's got this idea in her head, which is a good idea. I'm not trying to dog her or anything. She's like, we need to put together a will, like a living will. I'm like, okay, yeah, we've been talking about that for years, so we're talking about a few things with that. Great thing to talk about at your 20th anniversary, right? So we're talking about, and I told her, and then she's talking about wanting to retire, eventually, not tomorrow, but, we're just talking about retirement plans. And I'm like, you know what? We could retire now if we sold the house, sold the Galveston house, and took all that money, put it in the bank, and bought a really nice Airstream and just hit the road. And she's like, And she thought about it for a split. She goes, I didn't think you'd wanted to do that, honey. I'm just saying we could. Right? So, but yeah, I Kyle, I'm with you, man. I would love to do that. I'm just like, man, that would just be, with Starlink. If Starlink works the way that they say it's going to, and it's going to become mobile. If it's going to become mobile one of these days, then yes,
it already has.
Absolutely.
So
has it gone mobile? See, I haven't heard that yet. Okay.
So Grand Adventure, an RV channel on YouTube, go watch their video that they just did last week on Wednesday, and they show you they've got Starlink and they're 100% mobile.
Then okay, I'm ordering it tomorrow if that's the case. That's what seriously, I'm dead serious. I've been waiting. I came this close to ordering it like 6 months ago because honestly, the internet in Galveston sucks. And I thought I can order one and put it in my house in Galveston and get rid of the crappy Xfinity internet that's down there now and kind of try it out for a little bit.
Well,
and then when they go mobile, I'll get a second unit. Cool. But I never did do that.
So here is what I learned from that internet or their video is, and I didn't know this because I don't have Starlink and I don't keep up with the workings of Starlink. But anyway, if you have it attached to your RV or, or on the ground or whatnot, and you change your address to where you're going, there could be a chance that there are so many satellite users or Starlink users in that cell that you won't be able to get service. For example, they said they were going down to Quartzsite for the big RV show coming up in a week, and they're going to have to use their cell phone hotspot because there's so many Starlink users down there that the cell area is full, and Starlink will not let them connect to any of the satellites while they're down there
because they can't handle the data.
So
the constellation isn't built out.
Right. So it's not So it's not 100% built out. And they said that within a year, that will not be an issue. So whenever Jason, you and I and everyone on the stream probably retires, it's not going to be an issue.
It's not going to be an issue. Yeah, I'm not talking about doing it tomorrow.
If it exists.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. Exists. There's probably people in the chat that are waiting for me to explode right now. I'm not saying anything.
Elon Musk has moved to Texas, so he's got that feather in his cap. So yeah, but I'm all good. Okay, legit radio question. Okay, Dustin, again, dude, I don't know how to say your name. Legit radio question. I bought a 7300 first radio. Will an external tuner beat the internal one, or will they both work together to be a super tuner?
External tuner.
The external tuner will. I think the internal tuner will only do a 3-to-1 mismatch,
unless you put it in emergency mode.
That's right.
And then it'll be 10-to-1, but it limits your output to 50 watts.
Correct. But the external tuner will do more than a 3-to-1, generally speaking. But at the same time, if you're talking about emergency, okay. If you're talking about actually using it in like a POTA, my God, if you're out of mismatched more than 3-to-1, then get a better antenna. So it's yes, but the external tuner is going to be better to answer your question.
You could have a 9-to-1. It's not a bad antenna. It's just a different antenna.
No,
I'm talking about a
9-1 will tune on a
mismatch.
7000.
Yeah. No, it won't.
It will under emergency mode, though. I found out.
It will.
Can we practice pronouncing his name though? I'm saying Whittius.
Whittius.
Yeah,
Who is it?
That's what I'm thinking.
Let's all say his name.
I think the
Let's all say
T
it wrong.
silent.
Tango, Whiskey India Tango, Juliet Echo Sierra.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce that? I say Whittius.
I think the T silent. I think it's Widgis.
Widgis.
Yeah.
I think it's just wise or something like that.
It's probably like that. It's probably wise.
Wise.
Yeah.
Probably
wise.
Smith.
Smith.
Or Vice. It's Vice. Is it
Vice?
Vice?
Yeah, Vice.
He needs to like
it's pronounced witches. Okay, there you go.
Witches. Hey, there you go.
Witches.
Okay, witches. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Close.
Yeah.
Is it really pronounced witches? That's cool.
That's what he said. He said it's pronounced witches.
I know, I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
So Kyle, was your favorite movie Into the Wild? Because you sound like you want to go on that little adventure there.
You know, I have this grand this thought in my head of, you know, I live here in the city. I can literally touch my neighbor's house. I would just love
and your neighbors.
Yeah, right. There's things that go on in the neighbor's
He
house.
got arrested for that. No.
Hey, I made bail. That's you know, I don't do a lot of camping, but when I do, I love it. But I just don't do a lot of it. And I just want to do more outdoorsy stuff whenever I retire, you know?
Yes. Agreed. Totally agreed. I mean, I have my hunting lease, and it's a really cool place to go because there's nothing out there facility wise. We bring our own generators. We bring in our own water. I'm currently building a solar panel bunker complex, something. I haven't decided exactly what it's going to look like yet. So that's going to all be videos on the channel. But it's very off grid. And I like it. I very much like it, but it's really kind of gotten me in. You know, the RV scene, true statement, I'm not joking when I say this. The RV scene is an excellent scene to be in the ham radio world right now because all of your state parks have RV hookups. Well, most of them do. 95% of them do have RV hookups, and they all count for POTA.
Yeah.
So go POTA your ass off for the next 2 years, and you'll probably still not hit all the state parks. But I mean, that'd be a fun way to spend retirement, I think.
Yep. But also, you have to realize that I live here in St. Louis. There's not there's not there's not national parks around. Whenever I go out to Colorado, I am just blown away on the beauty of Colorado and Utah and Wyoming and California. We don't have that here. So I don't like you guys that live in the mountains and see that all the time. Like we get to stare at a muddy Mississippi River, you know, and the arch. That's not, you know, that's not a something.
That's just one part of. There's some pretty parts of Missouri.
There is, but you have to drive. They're in the Ozarks, right? There's some really cool stuff in the Ozarks, but that's 4 and 5 hours away.
But here's the thing, Kyle, is when you live in a spot for so many years, it becomes just routine. It becomes
exactly
like you appreciate it, even in the mountains, even in the forest, wherever you are. You know, like for instance, I'm out in the country. When I first drove out here, it was like you look at everything, you whoa, this is gorgeous. You still appreciate it after 5-6 years. You know, don't get me wrong, but it's you remember like it's you know, you've seen it every day. So even for people who are out in the country or on the lakes and all that, you still want to travel and see, because when you're here and then you go to Colorado and you look at the Garden of the Gods we were talking about before, or you go to British Columbia, or you go wherever, like it's
I see these places on these RV channels that I subscribe to, and I live vicariously through them because they're out, you know, doing cool stuff and seeing cool things, and I'm like, that's what I want to do. I want to do that, you know.
An interesting point is the waiting to retirement thing. You probably need to dip your toe in it a little bit before you get to full retirement, right? Because you're still young, you move around easy and all that stuff. You get older and you get a little bit more creaking.
Oh yeah, you got
in there in the body, so you might want to try
You
and
got to
explore
start in
that
your
space.
50s.
You can rent.
right?
You can rent RVs if you want to do that. You can just take
But-
a week and go do that if you
But
want.
the problem with
expensive.
yeah, they're expensive. They're like
It's
$130,
like $3,000 for a
$140 month.
week.
Yeah, they're very expensive.
Yep. It's
I'm just
insane.
going to keep watching Charlie's videos. That's probably as close as I'll get.
Yeah. Okay, so John from Amateur Radio on the Air, he put a question there. I'm just now getting to it. What portable, and I know my answer. I want to know what you guys have to say. What portable antenna would y'all recommend that doesn't have exposed wire? So I don't know of any antennas that have exposed wire. If you're talking about wire that doesn't have insulation on it.
Yeah, that was the exposed part was a little curious to me when I saw the question.
So
later on, Jason, he puts no wire that can easily be out or cut.
Yeah, so
is what he
that
said.
was when I saw that follow on, I was like, well, that pretty much removes all like end feds, dipoles, all that stuff. You're
Right.
like talking Wolf River coil,
Yeah.
buddy
Right.
stick, that
Right.
kind of thing.
Yeah, it's not really a wire. then.
Buddy stick, ham sticks, relatively inexpensive to get started
Right.
with either one of
Correct.
those. And ham sticks suck on the low bands. Let's just be honest. Let's stop
Yes.
pretending. 80 meters
Yes.
is no fun on a ham stick.
No.
But you can make some stuff work, particularly
Mhm.
20 and higher.
If you've got a ham stick on 20 meters,
you're good.
Even on 40 meters, man, I've made a hell of a lot of POTA contacts with a ham stick on a mag mount vertical configuration on top of my truck.
If you're
It
cool
works.
like K6ARK, you'll make yourself a modular Yagi, and you'll be good. Yeah. Did you guys watch that video? It was like massive. That massive Yagi.
Well, that was exposed wires, though. That was the.
Was it
the 10-meter
exposed?
Yeah. Those. Well, again, he's talking about wires. No wire antennas, I think is what he's saying. Which for ham radio is it's kind of hard to dodge that. If you're talking about HFs. You're talking about.
Well,
like,
you could just
verticals.
put the wire inside a PVC pipe, and then it's not exposed. So
Could you imagine an 80-foot PVC pipe?
Well, that's kind of
lean it up against a tree.
That's what it.
It
That's
has to be a vertical.
That's what a TN07 flagpole antenna is. It's a 32-foot flagpole with a wire inside of it.
Here we go. Here we go.
No, seriously.
I know what it is. Didn't we have a huge discussion about this at one time? What
I don't
exactly that
remember.
antenna is?
We've talked.
No,
you're talking about the you're talking about the go-to antenna.
Go-to.
They're new. No, their flagpole antenna has been around for years. So, and I have made. Well, that's probably not true anymore. The first dozen POTA parks I ever activated were done with that antenna, and the first time I ever contacted a park to park with where the other guy was in Canada was done on that antenna. So, I say what you will about loss rate in their matching unit. You know what? You get on the air, your radio's happy because of SWR and you're making contacts.
Well,
it works.
Crap, I'm about to correct my statement because if you go with a Wolf River or a buddy pole, you have an exposed wire in the the radials.
Yes.
You got a wire, a wire that it's going to be on the ground or somewhere floating at about 5-year-old
Correct.
height that they could clothesline themselves. That I learned when I was on the beach with Gordo and my kid like ran right into the radial. That's a thing. So ham sticks might be the way to go and just slap that thing on top of your,
What was
your
that?
vehicle or clamp it onto something metal.
What was that inflatable antenna? I saw a video briefly. I didn't.
I've
really
got
pay
two of
much-
them.
Yeah.
I've got
What
two of them.
what bands is that for? And
20.
how 20 and how much does it collapse? Would that be a viable option? Does it
Yeah,
work? Is
well,
it good?
No, it's not
The
good.
beer can.
Oh,
no,
then forget it.
No.
If that's the one you brought to Pacifico, that was no good.
I mean,
yeah.
that one looked like.
I'll
like
grab it. I'll grab it.
The beer can antenna is the best one. That'll work.
Let me chime in here real quick, because if you're going to put an antenna on a car, I would say, in my experience, the absolute best antenna that you could do for that affordably would be the Wolf River coils. You do not need a counterpoise. It works so amazingly well just with a trunk mount on your car.
Okay.
And I would choose that over a ham stick.
This will be fun.
Because one antenna is
all right.
multi-banded, and
Hold on, Josh.
You have the collar that slides up and down. So,
right.
If you're going to put it on a
it
vehicle,
works so good.
as long as you got a hitch mount, I would suggest an Eagle One, because
those are good too.
An Eagle One you can do
Well, but you can't drive with that. You're talking about parking,
right?
Yeah, because TN07 is kind of the same thing. You can do that with. They have a hitch mount as well. But Eagle One's a good choice, but you can't drive down the road with it. So it depends on when you're saying car mount. Do you mean mobile or do you mean park somewhere and put up an antenna? So, yeah, but yeah, Eagle One's not a bad choice if you're talking about park somewhere and put up an antenna.
So is it a mobile antenna he's looking for, or like for a vehicle, or is it?
I think what he's referencing, he done a video of I think his neighbor cut his fan dipole or his wire antenna he had across the top of his fence.
Yeah, well, I got some bad news, guys. This can
Uh-oh.
is empty, which means it's time for me to go. I think Ria's mentioned that too, but I'm gonna drop out, guys.
All right, Charlie.
See you
Thanks
later.
for joining, man.
Yeah.
Later, Charlie.
Yep.
I gotta
Later.
run.
All
Sounds
right,
good.
Rhea. Thank you. Thanks for joining.
I'm leaving too. I'm absolutely exhausted from traveling all day. So.
All right, man.
Don't forget to let your antenna
Colorado.
down before you go to bed.
Nah, I'm in the city. If people want to look in on me, then that's too bad for them. All right, we'll see you later, guys.
All right, later, Mike. All right, Josh, go ahead with your
Yeah, so there's a scuba diver safety thing. It's called like a safety noodle or something like that. And you can blow it up and actually Shakespeare. Oh, you're not going to see this. Hold on. Shakespeare.
Yeah, it's green screened out.
So Shakespeare will make something called the Ham Air VHF. This is a VHF antenna, and that's the primary one they make. But it's based off of the safety noodle. It's this inflatable tube, like a pool noodle that's inflatable, right?
Yeah.
But somebody got the wild idea. It's like, well, why don't we just run like a coiled dipole inside of it? And that's what this guy is. And what's interesting about this guy is, let me get it out of the container here, is that this one actually has it's kind of valve in it, like from the safety noodles. The safety noodles use the same valve as those airplane life vests. So you can take a 12-gram CO2.
Really?
Now I've got visions of airplane and the guy, the inflatable pilot.
Yeah.
What's that movie again?
Airplane.
Yeah.
So if it's a threaded CO2,
And then Elaine has to blow it up.
and if you hold it about like this, and
oh my God,
instantly will inflate, and that's supposed to be.
And didn't we still have to pump it up on Pacifico? Like
So Pacifico. That was this antenna, the antenna that's not inflated. This was their prototype, I guess, but it was so off band. Like it was the lowest that it got was like 2-to-1 SWR, and the impedance was all over the place on it. They sent me this one, the one that I did the review on it. And with the review one, I couldn't really do a single sideband contact on it because I was at home. But if I was on a mountaintop or whatever, I probably would have been a little bit better, or like an open clear park, probably would have done a little bit better. So I may have to go back and do like a follow on this thing, because you can blow it up. It does have hold on. It does have the valve there that you can blow it up and deflate it, but it's got this stupid CO2 buster thing on it, which is, I think, hilarious. I think that's the best part of the whole thing. And it's an antenna, so hey, why not?
How many? The question is, how many times can you inflate it with the same cartridge?
Oh, we're done. That was it.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's one time and you're done.
It's like there's $12 in activation. Holy
that-
cow!
No, you can blow it up with the little red nozzle there.
Yeah.
This is it.
Oh,
It
it's
only
like-
takes a second to blow it.
It
up.
has
Literally, it only
the
takes a
life
second.
vest thing too, the little straw.
Yeah, it's based off of a scuba piece of gear called the safety noodle. Scuba dudes will have one of these. Some people will have one of these on them, and they can pop it open, and they can just hang on it like a pool noodle and float if they get tired or they're out of air or stranded, whatever.
That's hilarious.
So does the antenna float?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So it does double duty. It's a double.
Right.
It's an antenna and a safety device.
When I go on the boat, I always bring my inflatable antenna. Safety first.
Yeah.
Now
So
I'm doing boats.
It's
on
not
the
a
air.
waterproof radio, right?
I'm gonna send this to Ray Novak and be like, "Here you go for your marine Icon Marine unit. We got to get some
Icon Marine
inflatables."
radio.
That's
There
right.
you go. That's good.
Hey, did you see that video? Not to change topic. Did you see the video of that guy who has a YouTube channel and he's like, he crashed his plane, and he's like, I always wear a parachute when I go flying.
That was a
and
scam.
Oh my goodness, he's
Total.
so and
That
he's
guy's
being
done.
He's probably going to lose his pilot's license. I don't know if you guys know the story, but he essentially was, planning this trip and he was flying, filming it for YouTube. And anyways, and he's doing he's reminiscing about it because it just happened. So he's saying, I'm so thankful. I always fly with my parachute, which is nonsense. Because anyways, and he flies, and then supposedly his engine stalls out, and he never tries to attempt to restart it, and then he just parachutes from it, and it goes crashing into, where was he, in California?
He was in California, and it just so happened that he rigged his entire plane with cameras, so he got to see the entire moment of the crash.
Just so happened,
and have an amazing.
What is it? Put the link in the chat. I got to see this.
Oh, what's his name? Trevor. What was it?
I don't know. Let's just say the FAA has taken a keen interest in what he's up to, because
a helicopter went and pulled the wreckage out, from what I understand. And he landed like far away from his plane, and then he hitchhiked to his plane to recover his GoPros. He had like 6 of them on him. And
as you do, you strap 6 GoPros to your plane every time. Even a YouTuber putting 6 GoPros on something is kind of like, it's a little.
But it's like, come on, like you wear a parachute, and he has other videos, and people are like, if you scroll through his other videos, he never wears a parachute.
Never wears.
Here we go.
And he says he always wears it. Yep.
Anyway, so he's totally gonna get busted. Like, he's gonna lose his license, and he deservingly. But it was he's an Olympian too. He was a snowboarding Olympian for you guys, for the Americans, the U.S. Olympic team.
Best and brightest in the snowboarding of the Olympics team. That's for sure.
All right, for all those watching, I'm going to put the link in the chat for my 100K giveaway live stream I'll be doing on Sunday. I'll be giving one at Flex Radio and a few other smaller radios. I'm going to shut this down at the end of the stream tonight. So anyone who's not signed up yet, the time is now.
I'm going to win that sucker.
So
it's your last warning.
I am,
dude. You have a Flex.
I can tell you right now, no one who's ever been on, no one else with a YouTube channel is going to win that.
I'm going to win it, man.
No one told me. Nobody told us that. I would have never become a YouTuber if I knew that.
I signed up with 10 emails, and then you said, I'm throwing all those out. And then you say, if you got a channel, I'm throwing that out.
I got less than 200 subscribers. How come I'm being penalized? Come on.
Yeah.
Josh is another story. He deserves it. He shouldn't win anything.
Actually, I would like Josh to win it so he can get a real radio in his ham shack. I'm just saying.
Oh, man.
I'm just kidding. I'll trade you this one for that 7610 any day of the week.
Yeah.
But I took a serious look at that 7610 a while back. I'll probably end up with one of those at some point. My problem is I want everything. I don't really care what the name is. I want one of each. One of each, please.
Right. Yeah.
So, no, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not kidding about one of each. But yeah, the 6400M is.
I'm with you.
Yeah. The 6400M is a sweet radio. So. And it's awesome to do remote work, and it's awesome. It's incredibly easy to use on FT8. If you're just an FT8 junkie, it's going to be very easy to use there. So
any digital mode.
Yeah, for sure. Anything with WSJTX, Whisper, RIDI, FL Digi works really well on it. JS8 Call works really well on it. So everything works. It's pretty easy to set up with it. So,
and if you want to do remoting, and if you like that Node Red business that Kyle's into, that's like the radio for it, for sure.
Do you have, Josh? Do you have a do you run your RS blah 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 remote software to your 7610?
The 7610 is connected to my network, so
right.
Technically, I can log in from RSBA1 from wherever I'm at. Yeah.
Do you do that often?
No, because I'm like you, and I have a radio with me, and I'm going to set the radio up in the field, and I mean, I know there are people that like this. I just don't. I don't do that. I do.
Oh, see, I do that with. I mean, if I'm going to Galveston, and I'll take my Maestro with me, so that I can operate from my antenna back here, and I can do that. But I mean, it's just
how do you get your audio, Josh? How do you get your audio from the 7610 into the internet and to your remote laptop or?
It creates a virtual.
It does.
Sound
Gotcha.
card. Yeah.
Gotcha. So you just point you load the software or you run the software on your remote laptop and you connect into your 7610 and the software does all that stuff for you.
There is setup that you have to do, and you got to
right.
poke a hole in your network to open that port. But once that's done, it's real straightforward because it's got a web. It's not a web server, but it's got a web authentication that it does. So you've got to have. You can actually have multiple usernames on the 7610. So you can give username control to a friend that has reduced privileges, that kind of thing. It's not a flex, but it does many.
But you can remote it.
But yeah. So the way Ray Novak explained it to me was that the 7610, because I was telling him about my 7700 right there, and he said the 7610 has, for lack of a better term, it has its own built-in computer. So all you do is plug it into Ethernet.
Yep.
Where the 7300 and the 7700, because it's older, you have to plug those radios into a computer on your network, and then you can remote them. But the 7610 is a standalone. All you do is plug in an Ethernet cable and you're done.
Yeah.
Right. And then you have to set it up, of course. You have to set up a flex too.
Yeah,
but,
well, you got to. I don't think you have to poke any holes in your network though with the flex. I think that's all handled within the computer that interfaces it. It does that all with the network access. Because
that is correct.
But okay, no shots to flex. But if I'm on a contest day, I'm not worried about the flex servers going down. I can connect straight to my radio.
Yeah. So
which happens.
That's only happened like once though.
But that's what you get. That's what you get when you have that capability, because they're going over the internet to their central servers.
They're going through their own authentication server.
Right. And they're the ones that are handling that handshake and the brokering of that connection, versus mine. I just need to know my IP address of my home, and then the port is open and I can remote in.
Well, you can do that too with the Flex. You can set up a VPN.
Sure.
And, right. But hopefully they will get away from that whenever their contract is up with their authentication service.
Correct. Yeah,
that would be good.
Because Elecraft does it just the same way you're describing, Josh. The problem, and I'm using that term loosely, the problem with Elecraft is basically if
nobody has them.
I'm not just talking about the K4, like all their older models too.
Love Elecraft.
So the Elecraft, you basically have to buy 2 radios. So if I have an Elecraft at home and then I take an Elecraft to Galveston or I take it to Huntsville or whatever, I can use my K3S or my K4 in Galveston to connect back to my K3 here at the house on my big antenna. But I have to have, but there's not, it's like
the other Elecraft becomes the remote
control.
But I don't think that's
correct.
I don't think that's the way with the K4. That's
with
not
the
how
K. Well, I don't think that they've released that software yet. Last I checked.
Well, they
but
have,
they were.
But it's riddled with bugs.
Okay. So when they were demonstrating that software at Hamvention last time we were there, they said that software would be released after the radio. Now the radios are starting to ship. In fact, I did a video on one, but last I heard that software wasn't out yet. So they're going the way of Flex in that regard, or maybe even ICOM in that regard. So that's good. But prior to that, you basically had to have 2 radios, and then the remote aspect worked great. But I'm like, okay, well, I've bought 2 radios now. So
I feel like maybe I haven't gotten to that point yet, and maybe I think it's more of a factor of like where I live. Like I don't really have great antennas. Like yes, I got a step IR, but it's not nearly as high as it should be. And there's lots of better things I could do, but I can't because I'm limited on my space. If I lived like, if I was Valerie from Ham Nation. And they've got a huge antenna farm and wonderful capability and all that stuff, then I absolutely would want to remote into my amazing setup. But if you don't necessarily have like the best setup, then you might be better served just having an inexpensive portable radio and a buddy stick.
See,
like I call that like late game ham radio, like upper level, like prestige level, epic level. Like once you've leveled your ham radio character to this point, that you've got like an antenna farm and really great stuff, like then that point you're really going to want to always be connected to your home radios, because it's going to be better than anything.
Right.
But if you don't have that, portable radio's where it's at. Like it's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at my situation, right? I don't have room for antennas. I live in the city, right?
Mm-hmm.
S9 and noise. And I remoted my stuff so I could get on, like, I don't have and that's what people do, like, especially like retirement homes and HOAs, right? So they go out and they buy a piece of property and they put a shack on it and they remote in, and so I think it's the whole gamut, right, Josh? It's the whole gamut.
No, you're right. You're totally. I was looking at it from the point of, because I'm looking at my late game. I want to have I want to give Leia the land and set up the big antenna farm.
Yeah.
But no, I totally hear what you're saying, right? If you have, so like my dad's in Big Bear, low noise, high altitude, and he's got some space that I could set up antennas, and I could definitely do what Kyle's talking about, and that makes a lot of sense. In fact, maybe now I want to win this 6400. I'll set it up at my dad's house.
There you go.
I'm all set. So Jason, I'll pick you up on what you said earlier about
we'll work out something. Yeah. Shh, don't tell anybody. Okay. So yeah. No, here's
could you imagine?
Yeah, could you imagine? So here's the thing that I've been wanting to do for a long time. So we talked about Starlink earlier. Okay, if I could get a Starlink, and I have to get a second one, I guess, and put it at the hunting lease, I could put up the highest damn tower I want to. I could put a tri-band beam or a step IR or a hex beam or whatever, and I could stick a 1500 watt amp out there, and I could put a flex out there with a PGXL or whatever, a KPA 1500 or whatever, even that Mercury 3.
The
and
remote expensive. That gets real expensive.
Well, but the biggest problem out there is internet, because there's no internet. I mean, I don't even have electricity out there.
It's latency.
Well,
so
your internet controlled rotor, your amp that auto senses band changes, that's all real high dollar stuff.
Well, it's not as much as it used to be. So I got a friend of mine who's got a place in the mountains in Colorado, and he has a complete flex radio setup, full powered amplifier, PGXL, the whole thing, and he remotes into it from here in town to there. He can power cycle his computer, control his rotor, control the off on of his radio and his amplifier. He can do all that through VNC connection. So it's he spent some money on it. I mean, it's not like but I mean, it's totally doable. I'm like, today we're going to go set up the tower and antenna. Tomorrow, or next month, we're going to go set up the radio. Now run barefoot for a while.
This is probably like a months or more of
setup.
And this is, I want to remind everybody, like, ham radio is one of those journeys we've been on where it's a lot of understanding of electronics and knowing all that stuff. When you start playing these games, now you're getting into like IT and networking and software. It's peak geekdom on all fronts. Like if you're going down this road, like you've got to be pretty dialed in, because it's not rolled out yet completely for the masses. It will get much, much better, but we're just not really like there yet.
I wonder if
there's another level of ham radio. There's many levels of ham radio, but like whenever I talk to Ward, my Elmer, and he tells me things that I'm just like, oh my God, you're the smartest man alive in ham radio, because there are things that go into ham radio that are different levels, right? You can go out and do your POTA. That's one level. You've got your home station. That's another level. You've got your contest people that love to contest and put a couple of towers on their property. And then you've got contest stations that run multis. And you're talking about bandpass filters and the rotors that control them and all of these elements. And,
and they're synchronized.
Synchronized 8x8 switches, blah, blah, blah. And they're all connected. And it's a different level on.
Yes. I don't want any of that. I want one radio, one amp, and one antenna. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
I want all of it. I'm just not there yet. I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
We're not.
Yeah.
I'm not. I appreciate I'm not in that station of life yet.
Yeah.
But in the future, I still want to have my portable radio. But you're damn right.
Oh
if
yeah.
I got decent internet. I want to be able to remote into whatever battle station I got back home. Why not?
Absolutely.
What's funny is that we all want it. And the reality is we're asking, can you remote an X6100? That's what we can afford right now,
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Is this running Raspberry Pi? Can I VNC into this?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do I install the OS? All right, hang on. Let's
No
go
doubt.
down to the common denominator here.
Oh my gosh.
You got to call your neighbor and be
It's
like,
fun.
so I crashed my 6100. There's an SD card I taped to the side of it. I need you to pop that SD card out
Right.
of it and then put the other one in it and then restart it. And then you're good. Thank you so much. I'll give you a bottle of scotch for Christmas.
Right.
Yeah, whatever your $10,000 remote station relies on a $35 Raspberry Pi.
Right. Yeah. Well,
I'm going to take
it's all
off,
fun.
gentlemen. Thank you so
All right.
much.
Yeah, I think we're going to wind it down, guys. And we've been going almost an hour and 2.5 hours. And it's been a really fun stream. I always enjoy this every month. So hold on, I got to sneeze.
Okay, holding.
Okay. Whoa,
Okay.
that was a good one.
I'm done. Okay.
You only get to sneeze once?
Right, yeah. I just sneeze once. I don't
Wow.
do this 3 or 4 thing. My wife does that. I don't do that. So, but yeah, so yeah, I don't. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying I don't do that.
Superhuman.
It's not my bag, baby. But so thanks everyone for being here tonight. I did put everyone's link to their channels in the chat tonight. I'll go back into the video later on for those of you on Team Replay. These happy hours usually get played for a week or two after the fact. So thank you for watching on Team Replay. Those of you who are here, and those of you who are on the audio rip, thank you for being here as well, because these are always fun to listen to on the audio rip. Sunday night, we're going to give away a Flex Radio 6400M, a few Radioddity radios, a couple of VTech radios, and some tickets to Orlando Hamcation. 100 tickets to Orlando Hamcation that you can drop into the prize barrel and win hourly door prizes or grand prizes or whatever. So those guys donated those tickets, and I'm very appreciative to those guys for supporting the channel like that. So be here on Sunday night, 7 p.m. Texas time, which is 0100 UTC Monday morning. And you guys in the Zoom right now, I sent an email. Well, I sent something in the chat. I don't remember if I emailed. I'll send an email out later. But I'd like to have you guys come back on the stream around 7:30 that night. I'm going to do a couple of intro things and talk to a couple of people here and there. Michael from Flex Radio is going to be on with us to talk about the 6400 a little bit, and then I'm going to bring everybody who wants to join is welcome to join me at 7:30 that night. We're just going to kind of have a fun live stream, kind of like this one. So should be a really good stream when you're giving away a radio like that. I suspect we'll have a good crowd that night. So I'm looking forward to it. Oh, Josh, I got my email from YouTube that said my button had shipped.
Oh.
And it said it was shipping on Wednesday and it would be here Friday. So like today.
Oh my goodness.
And they shipped it via UPS, who totally sucks. So I got an email yesterday saying, oh, to be there Monday. And I'm like, one day late. Oh my God. What the hell, man?
Almost did it.
So almost did it. I was like, oh, it's going to be here just in time. Nope. One day late.
I swear everybody's either hating on USPS or FedEx. Like everybody's just hating on them right now. And I swear my UPS guy doesn't stop working. That guy starts at like 8 a.m. and then he goes until 9 p.m.
Well, the drivers are fine, but UPS is everything I've gotten shipped UPS way before the pandemic for the last 5 or 6 years has been late. Everything UPS is late. FedEx, I've not had any problems with FedEx.
I've had no problems with either personally, but I
no.
know people that have been hating.
I've had a lot of problems with UPS, and USPS has been late with a bunch of crap lately. Also, you get something from Amazon, you say, "Oh, it'll be here in 2 days," and then like 4 days later, it shows up. So, Amazon, I think, has a little bit of pull with them because they're like, "Hey, we're going to ship like 15 million packages this week, so maybe be on time." But UPS, man, they're terrible. So I don't know. Maybe it'll show up tomorrow. I kind of doubt it. It didn't get here today, but we'll see. But yeah, so I'll have to put that on a live stream later, I guess. That's cool though. Thanks, Joe. But yeah, I don't know who those guys are. Oh, those are probably the same guys that were on Kyle's stream earlier.
Yeah, those guys are great.
Yeah.
They're my buddies.
Yeah. So, all right. So be here Sunday night for the giveaways. I'm going to be giving 10 items away. The grand prize, obviously, the Flex Radio 6400. Michael from Flex will be on with us and should have a really good time. So thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. Be sure to subscribe to all these channels if you haven't yet, because everyone has great amateur radio information, and everyone's different. We all do it from kind of a slightly different angle, and some of us are more well equipped in other areas than others, and there's nothing wrong with that, because amateur radio is a vast hobby slash service slash whatever you want to call it, and there's a lot of facets to it, and I'm an expert on like 0.5% of it. So, but I appreciate everyone being here, and I hope that you will join us Sunday night, 7 p.m. Central Time, which is 1 a.m. UTC Monday morning. So everybody wave goodbye, and we will talk to you guys next time. Boom.
Take it easy.
Later.